The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Winter Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, and this sports show on the internet and radio begins now. Let's ride. Let's ride into some sports talk, shall we? There's a lot going on in the world of sport. And by that, I mean everything that we talked about yesterday is still looming overhead.
Hell yeah.
But will we get an answer to one question, which is how many games is Deshaun Watson going to be suspended, which will then lead to the Baker Mayfield conversation, which will then lead to the Jimmy G conversation, which will then lead to the entirety of the offseason and every single NFL team. There's some interviews from other podcasts that we'll definitely have to dive into because George Kittle spoke some gospel to the Bussin' with the boys down there in Nashville. George Kittle obviously has a house in Nashville, had Tight End University down there. Bussin' with the boys crushed it during Tight End University. A lot of good content coming out there. We have to talk about it. Up to something season still brewing.
Ooh.
Might not just be for me, though. Might be for other people in this office. Up to Something season has lingered into other studios and other aspects of the office. It's a beautiful time to be alive, and we can't thank you enough for all your support, both watching, tweeting, texting, following, living, laughing, and eventually moving on from us, and we completely understand. We'll have some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. We can't wait to chat with you. Peter Schrager of Good Morning Football will join us in about 16 minutes. I believe he had I don't know if it's public. I don't want to be the one that does it.
Oh, what did he do?
I think he had a pretty similar bout with COVID that I had.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he said it on the show yesterday.
Like 11 days he had it.
Damn.
Which is what it sounds like he went into some nook and cranny somewhere, and he found the OG-19.
Well,
it sounded like he was out at that wedding, obviously, and I don't want to put two and two together. A lot of money out there. Maybe some people did had the OG-19 strain in the back pocket, and while Schrags was dancing like Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street, they slipped that thing into his drink, and he just drank down the original 19. Out of commission for 11 days. Back on the other side, I assume he has a full new perspective on life, appreciation and joy on freedom. Can't wait to talk to him about all this stuff going on. Good Morning Football and the NFL as a whole.
Yeah.
Sugar Sean O'Malley will join us for the first time in a year in the next hour. He obviously has a massive fight coming up this weekend against...
He's fighting Pedro Munoz.
That's no way that's his name.
That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, it's Munoz.
Munoz?
Pedro Munoz.
Pedro Munoz.
Saturday night at UFC 276. This is International Fight Week. This is the biggest card of the year. Sugar Sean O'Malley being on it makes a lot of sense. We can't wait to chat with him again. Hope life is good. We haven't talked to him in a long time.
No.
Can't wait to catch up and see how he's feeling. He is a performer.
Oh, yeah.
He views his fights as a performance. He wants to display. He wants to have cool knockouts. He actually, in our introduction to him, had a guy knocked out with his left hand, let off of him so he could knock him out with his right hand because it said another right hand from Sugarland on his merch that he wanted to sell immediately after the fight. That type of confidence. He's a hustler. He's a businessman. He understands the fight game. He has a lot of big-time famous friends. I can't wait to talk again to Sean O'Malley here just a few days before his UFC 276 knockout, we assume.
Hell yeah.
At the Talks the Table, at Nick Moraldo, rocking a Paisan shirt. Who's that? The
Satrials.
Satrials.
A little place to conduct business down there at the pork store.
It's a pork store. Finest Italian meats. A pork store down here.
Delicious gabagool.
Over there in New Jersey.
That's where the social club meets.
Yeah, go down to Satrials down there. Get a little pork and beans down there. We'll figure out the goddamn issues at hand. I'm thankful you're here, not only because the seat would be empty, because Ty Schmidt, hey, we love you, Ty.
Love you, Ty.
We have all, I assume, tried to spoil that baby as much as possible to become the favorite uncle in the clubhouse. Connor had the early lead because he had gone to the hospital numerous times long before Nick even thought about going there. Nick, bad friend. Connor, great friend. At Boston Connor, how you feeling, pal?
I feel fantastic, baby.
Nick, how's it feel to be a terrible friend?
Well,
to Ty Schmidt?
I didn't want to put this out there, but I did go see the baby on Monday night and got to hold the baby. So
Well, Connor had already been in the hospital 3 times by then.
Held it?
And I don't
held
hold
the
baby.
baby.
Connor actually gave birth. He was the way he
I was there.
they did
yeah.
not let that mutant freak anywhere near their
All
child.
right, anyway.
I don't
You
want
shouldn't
to
hold
touch the
other
baby.
people's babies under a year.
How's the family
Exactly.
doing? Good?
Yeah, everybody's good.
That's when you're real
Good
tight with the
spirits.
family, which we assumed that Nick was with
Yeah.
Ty until we learned that he was not invited to the hospital.
Yeah.
Connor was invited. Nick was not.
I also heard that maybe it was a self-invite to the hospital.
Well, I mean, now he's just lying. And I would self-invite.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Self-invite?
But that's also what good
I have
friends do, you
receipts.
know?
I
receipts,
will
it's
say,
okay.
Nick was going to get to the bottom of that, by the way. As soon as I heard you say, I actually went to the hospital, I saw Nick's face go, oh, really? You're trying to be a better human than me all of a sudden. And,
Yeah, it can't
well,
happen.
actually, I went the next day, I delivered food as well. And I saw Nick's face just like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? So I'm happy you did get to the bottom of it. How is Ty, Caitlin, and Sloan? Everybody good?
Everybody's doing great, yeah.
Picture we got last night with that little baby's going to be beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely Ty's baby, though. Mm-hmm. Same shape of head.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Same hair, too.
Same hair, same shape of head. Let's hope same misery in,
Sweet.
in comedy and same brain intelligence. Not that Caitlin, I think Caitlin's smarter than all of
Big
us.
brain as well,
She's
yeah.
smarter than Ty, but that baby is going to be awesome. And that is officially the first baby in this office, right?
Yeah.
Because CFO Phil has 10 kids. He's back in Plum. AJ's got 10 kids. He's in Ohio. Sloan's the first baby of the office. So that baby is going to get ridiculously spoiled because this is all of ours first time with the new toys and options of buying for these things. And it's just going to become I got a life-size elephant sent to that house the other day.
Here we go.
Yeah, stuffed.
Yeah.
Stuffed
I
elephant.
also saw a rather large, very nice bouquet of flowers that was sent from the McAfee family.
course.
So let's not
Here
sell
we go.
yourself short in the
course.
whole process.
Well, I'm trying to make sure that baby knows, like, hey, although I will not be around you, okay, and I will not invest a lot of time in your life until you're a little bit older, know that I'm here and I'm appreciative of your existence. Because from what I've heard, when you have a baby, immediately better person. Ty's going to stop probably chewing. He's going to stop drinking.
No.
Ty's
he
going to
was-
start working out
He was
more.
boozing already.
No,
no
3 days in. Ty, we miss you, pal. At Boston Connors here. No conversation about the Patriots at all this offseason. You love that?
I mean, there's the only real conversation is, Orlovsky being worried about how, there's
That was
no
weeks and weeks and weeks
offensive-
ago.
We're all
That's
worried-
still the
we're all
thing.
worried about it.
And I mean, Schrager, actually, I do kind of have a bone to pick with him because he said, him, Bill Simmons' nephew, and also Mike Giardi are the only guys in Mac Jones' camp right now. It's like, what have we been talking about? I thought we know that Mac Jones is good. He's going to take
There's
a
a lot
step.
of those industry babies that,
Yeah.
I don't want to say take our takes and then act like they created them, but there's a lot of people that are just put onto a platform, given a platform, and think that they've earned it.
Sure.
Hey, I woke up on third base, think I hit a triple, take 6-day vacations back to back to back to back to back weeks there. It's a lot of that with the industry babies happening on TV as well. And Shrake's, what is Shrake? Shrake's friend of the show. He knows we exist.
Yeah.
Hey, pal, we weren't just plucked and put on the television in a suit, but at least have a little respect for the conversations we've had about people in this NFL sports media realm because we are stewards of the game.
That's right. And we talk about, football every day for 3 hours. And I know it's very difficult for a lot of people to do that. I understand, especially in the day to day where it's really just lawsuits and a lot of tomfoolery. But hey, come on. We've been talking about the Patriots. We've actually talked about how Mac Jones isn't actually a second-year quarterback. He's been there for 15 years, it feels like already. But no, I feel good
Nobody
about
takes
it.
us serious because I wear a tank top and you have that face and mullet.
Yeah, I know. That's just part of the game, I guess.
And because we have too many fucking Italians in here.
Well, definitely. I think
I'm
that's
not
why
saying that other people are saying.
That
People
will,
are
yeah,
probably-
that will hold you back in some respects.
scared about it.
This room has become a mostly Plum room.
Really, just the Plum boys in here.
You would
Just
never.
a bunch of Mustangs hanging out, talking sports. You gotta love it. Feel like we're back in the cafeteria, boys.
would.
Mexican
Huh?
pizzas.
You
Yeah,
would-
let's
you
ride.
wouldn't fit in.
on.
Even as terrible as Plum was, we didn't quit on it.
Yeah,
know,
you
we
would have got
stayed there.
bullied out of Plum.
No,
Just like you did your school.
I love Plum. What do you mean bullied out of Plum? I go back every year, see the family.
You actually do go back to Plum more than most people go back to Plum.
Yeah.
Out of Plum. So I got There was an article written about me by, what is Action 4? What is that? TAE?
4
Yeah.
is KD, WTAE.
Yep.
KDK?
KDK is 2.
KDK.
So WTA, last night, I guess the Plum School Board had to accept our donations to the teams.
Oh, nice.
So they accepted them. Very nice of them.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a tough decision, I bet.
Thank you,
to
Plum
ponder that
School
for a
Board,
while.
for accepting our donations that have already been given to all the teams. But since they did that in a public thing, then WTA ended up writing an article. There's no, I was the punter for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a mention of like, hey, entrepreneur,
Sure.
Has a show that does okay. The post life, just former Plum Mustang, former Colts kicker, giving back to community, which I'm very thankful
Undefeated at WrestleMania.
in sanctioned matches, because a person that wrestles cannot sanction a match, clearly. So Vince sanctioning a match in which he was in while he was standing in the ring, that's not real.
That goes without
That
saying.
was I'm undefeated. In the photo they chose me, it said Dwight Freeney's Ring of Honor, I believe, when I went out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 290 in that photo. 290 pounds in that photo. So I do appreciate the write-up. I'm very lucky to be in the position that I'm in. But please know that I'm not doing that for the fucking Plum School Board. I'm not doing that for the news. I'm not doing it for the fucking teachers. I'm not doing it for the fucking school. I'm doing it strictly for the kids of Plum that have potentially been actually robbed from the parent-teacher
The treasurer, right?
organization treasurer,
Right,
or
$5,000.
other decisions that have been made by people in power in Plum over the years that have potentially undercut opportunities for a lot of Plum kids. That's who I'm giving the money to. And although they okay 250, like that's going to be a never-ending total that's just going to go forever, hopefully to take care of maybe the next me or the next Tone or the next Nick,
Or
the next Phil.
Not you.
me.
The next you, we are going to try to make sure they get fucked like old school days in Plum.
Sure. I mean, hey, look, that's
Yeah,
our
yeah.
hometown.
One of one.
That's where we're from. It makes sense. I'm just glad, once a Mustang, always a Mustang, and you're still giving it back
That's
to
not
the
what we say.
community.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Mustangs ride forever.
No, that is, we're
That's
all
the
Mustangs
tag.
here, is what we say. We're all Mustangs here.
That's right. We are.
But
Thank you.
the Mustangs for a long time, this is me kind of break kayfabe a little bit here on this. Plum has been run by people that don't have Plum's best interest for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our town, I believe, was preyed on by people that were from outside looking in. I'm not saying that is what's happening now. I'm just saying that is why I've given none of the people an opportunity that are in positions of powers, because that is the experience that I had in Plum growing up with the bureaucracy and the powers that be and the people making decisions and who gets what and how it goes about happening. That is why this fund is strictly for the players and the coaches directly. And I will let you know, Plum Council was not necessarily thrilled that we were go ahead and taking their hands out of the pot completely. This has been an entire scene. So them giving quotes for WTAE on the whole thing, I certainly appreciate and I enjoy. And hopefully we'll be able to come together. But I do not have any trust in the people that run Plum at all. Never will. But I would never give up hope on the kids that grew up in the same fucking streets that we did, doing the same thing that we did. And hopefully, if we can provide an opportunity through athletics that make people more interested in sport, stick around in sport as opposed to getting into drugs or any of the other shit that a lot of people in Plum get into, I hope that in 10 years from now, this We're All Mustangs Here fund will be able to do something big and have a legacy that's much larger than all of the bad shit that seems to get talked about in Plum, because the people of Plum are fantastic, even though the people you hear about from Plum are normally the people in positions of power that abuse their power and fuck it up. So we're trying to cut that entire thing out with the We're All Mustangs Here fund. And I'll let you know, it has been quite a battle to do so. And I didn't expect to do that. Whenever you offer up $2 million to have to be like, no, fuck you. No, fuck you. That's not how that's going. I'll pull the fund. How about that? I didn't think I had to do that. But now that I'm in the position I'm in, like I can do that with these people. And there's nothing they could do, and they can talk to me the way that maybe they talked to me when I was in high school or how they talk to other people. It's just not like that anymore. Once again, I don't know how the people are now that are running Plum. I have no clue. I haven't met any of them. I haven't reached out to any of them. But I do know that I have no trust in any of them. And when a clown Subaru is driving up to a bank and they're the treasurer of the PTO and they're robbing the kids blind just a couple months ago, probably not going to be something that makes me go, yeah, I'd love to work together with you guys, even though you're giving quotes to the fucking local news and you try to stop this at literally every single turn.
What was the big holdup for them waiting to accept? Did they think it was Saudi money? Was it too blood money? Like, I don't understand.
I don't. I think it was just procedural. But believe me, remember they sent an email out 3 weeks ago. What was that email out 3 weeks ago about how we need to approve everything that you ask for? It's like, no, you don't. You don't need to do a damn thing. You just need to stay the fuck out of the way and let us give the money directly to the boosters, directly to the team, directly to the students. And then they said, procedural-wise, we have to have everything in there that we have allotted and received and everything. I'm like, understandable. And once again, hopefully our relationship will build up with these powers that be. But whenever they got their PTO right underneath their nose stealing from kids, I don't know if it's going to be as easy of a conversation for me. And hopefully the future of the Plum is vastly different than the past of the Plum. Not that the past of Plum has been bad, but it's been riddled with what the fuck? How is that happening? And I think as we grow older and we look back on our time in Plum, we're like, oh, there's no town that was like Plum. There's no reason that boom, 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 boom. How'd that happen? Oh, that guy hated me. Why? Oh, now he's in jail for having sex with the same girls I was trying to have sex with. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, another one. Oh, this one's trying to cover it. It's just one of those things where there isn't a lot of trust, I don't think.
No, and we got to rebuild that.
We should try to change that. But until we get that point done, we'll not let them fuck it up either, is kind of how I feel. And I did not expect to talk about this for 15 minutes, but the thought of me being 290 pounds on the cover of this photo and then the school board giving quotes, I'm like, that's very, very, very mighty of you, because there's been a lot. They try to enact a clause whenever I launched this thing from 1984 or something about like how no donation over $500 is allowed without us approving, accepting. It's like, what? I've donated a fucking $40,000 weight room just a few years ago. Yeah. I don't remember hearing a thing from you guys. It's an interesting thing. And I have always been somebody that hates authority. So you can kind of see this maybe continuing, but also it might be because I'm from Plum, why I feel the way that I feel.
Could be, yeah.
We'll fix it all, though. I appreciate the news talking about it. I do. I'd rather it not, and I'd rather us just fucking go ahead and do it. And I hope maybe we can, maybe become a little bit closer with the school board and the powers that be in the school and all that stuff. But I'm assuming that's not going to happen, if I had to guess. Anyways, Tone Diggs, we're all Mustangs here, dude.
We are all Mustangs here.
How about it, dude? How about our high school teams are about to have alternate uniforms? Our fucking football squad got an entire wrap. The volleyball team has the sickest uniforms on earth. They look like they're an Olympic squad walking out there. Our soccer team's going to a couple different camps. They got a whole new kit, new sweats, new cleats, new everything. It's like, here we go now. Awesome. Our women's soccer team's going to create an Olympian within the next year or two, I think. They're fucking unbelievable, and they're reaching out and asking for more stuff. I'm like, yes, this is what we are doing here. And hopefully 10 years from now, we'll look back on the We're All Mustangs Here fun and say, all right, let's put another $100 million into Plum.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just hope they keep their grit. Okay.
Yeah, I would like them not to get soft.
That's true.
But I do believe being from Plum, you just have a natural grit in there.
Exactly.
Because you have to deal with PTO people stealing your money right out from underneath you while having a clown nose on their fucking car. How did a person with a clown nose on a Subaru become the treasurer of the PTO for the entire place? None of us know. That's Plum, baby. But that is, that'll keep the grit.
It's in the water. They'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of in the water, you think Sue Robinson's going to come out and say 6 to 8 games? Because now there's a tweet or a report coming out saying that it might be 6 to 8 games, and the NFL doesn't want to get ugly and murky with the appeals. Rob Motti says, I'm also told the NFL, despite insisting on an indefinite suspension, wants to avoid the appeals process. Source said a terrible situation for everyone involved. So league is more likely to abide by Sue Robinson's ruling if she came back with 6 to 8 games. So the NFLPA and the NFL currently sitting in a court that Sue L. Robinson, former federal judge, retired in 2017, is presiding. She will make a decision. She will then send that decision to Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell will then make his full decision. There is a chance to appeal in Sue Robinson's NFL court, and they're saying that the NFL doesn't want to get ugly. Appeal. Public, more public, more public. They're saying that 6 to 8 games or whatever would be okay. That goes to Roger Goodell. Does Roger Goodell come out and say, Sue Robinson, and big thank you to Sue Robinson taking time out of her retirement, her life to do the honorable move of being our judge. She recommended 6 to 8 games after the court through the NFLPA and the NFL, and we thank everybody for doing that. With that being said, I'm doing a full season. So I'm babyface here. I'm going to do that. Have a good one. Keep it moving. It went from people saying it'll just be a fine to indefinite suspension, at least a year. Now this tweet seems like it's kind of setting the table for maybe it's just a certain amount of games for the season, but ultimately in the end, it's whatever the fuck Roger Goodell wants to do.
Roger's main concern is the shield, correct? And how people perceive the league and how people look at the league and backlash for the league. So when Roger's making his decision, I feel like if it's 6 to 8 games, there's going to be quite a bit of backlash on the league. I feel like if she does recommend that. Now, if
he would be quite a babyface though if he said, "I wasn't expecting to tell you guys what Sue was wanting to rule, but she said 8 games is what they decided on." That's cute, Sue. 17 games plus playoffs, Roger Goodell.
I think he gets a big applaud.
He probably ends up on the 60 under 60 list or 70 under 70 list
1,000%.
of like baby faces in the world if he does that. That's why AJ keeps asking, like, he asks Ian, he asks Andrew Brandt, he asks a bunch of people. He's like, are we going to hear what Sue actually recommends?
Yeah.
Because if we don't hear what Sue recommends, we'll just assume that whatever Roger Goodell says is Sue. But if not, I think the only way we hear about it is if Roger makes an adjustment to it or goes directly by it, which would be any situation, I guess.
I see. They've been saying, I'm on your side. Like, I think we're gonna know what the recommendation was too. I think we're gonna know what the recommendation was, and we're obviously gonna know what this final
This is the
suspension
first time
was.
Sue has come into the NFL world full time, like in this situation. Roger Goodell's going to have to try to protect her. The 6 to 8 games thing, it would be interesting, and I guess that's what the NFL has to do. And there's going to be people that are going to be pissed forever, regardless. I guess is another way to look at it. Maybe is that how they'll look at it?
There's also the idea of something like this being leaked or floated out to gauge public reaction to say, okay, if it was 6 to 8 games, how are people going to react?
You think Rob Motti there was doing a job or doing a task for somebody?
I can't rule it out.
Especially with that name.
Yeah.
Is that an Italian name? I don't think so.
The double A is not normally.
That's like Eastern Europe type thing, isn't it?
DDI, though.
Yeah.
What is it?
It is.
Is his name Rob Maldini?
There's a possibility.
Joining us now is not an Italian, but a man who might know more than we do about it all. And we have certainly missed him, and he's a COVID survivor as well. We're incredibly proud of him for his 11-day fight with the OG-19. A man who's plugged in. Obviously, he's an Emmy winner as a host of Good Morning Football. They're back in studio. They were, yeah. Now they're back not. His setup looks sweet today, though.
Unbelievable.
He had that white zipper. I mean, he looked
huge
good.
TV behind him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager. What's up, dude?
COVID kicked my ass. I missed a couple of weeks with you guys. I'm back on my toes. I go to Kansas City as a guest of a couple of comedians, Rob Riggle and Eric Stonestreet and Paul Rudd. They asked me to take part in their charity weekend.
Way to go.
Let's go.
Way to go.
Ant-Man. Holy shit.
Holy shit, dude.
Can I take you guys behind the scenes of what went down? And I go in there and we get into the area where we're going. I get to take the field. It's cool. It's like Sheryl Crow and James Vanderbeek. And I can name
Vanderbeek.
This guy. I'm like under my breath. That's bum ass Corbin. I know that guy. That's bum ass Corbin. This guy. And I'm like, am I going to say hi to this guy? Because I'm Team McAfee. I come over there. I'm like, what's up, man? I'm a friend of McAfee. And I'll tell you what, he didn't break a smile. He didn't embrace me. Once I said the word weird. McAfee, he was like, oh, okay, cool. And he turned around. I'm like, can we get a photo just for the goof? And he I'll take a photo with you, but it wasn't warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, he's the goof in that photo.
Correct.
But I don't think that guy likes you very much.
Yeah, the photo isn't the goof. He's the goof in the photo.
Yeah.
It's not about whether or not he likes me. It's okay. He probably doesn't. He's insufferable, as you got to experience probably at the softball thing. He has just completely changed and become this person that is just terrible. And I'm one of the only people, literally one of the only people that have known him since before he became this person, and then what he's become to now on a week-to-week basis. And if I have to be the guy that tells him hey, you're fucking up, dude. This is not how you should be as a human with the platform that you have, I guess so be it. You know what I mean, Shrakes? So be it. But you did appear
good there, though, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, you put your arm around him a little tight. Yeah, that smile looks real big.
Having a beer with you guys.
Credit, though.
Guys are
Saturday
matching.
morning, he was up. He was at the hospital. He was walking around. He was changing lives. He was doing good things. I think he's a good man, but
no, he's not. He's catfishing you. Shrakes, he's catfishing you.
Trick.
I think
catfishing.
Yeah, I think he has it way down inside. He's a good guy because that's a guy I knew from way back. He was like 320. He was fresh out of college. He was offensive lineman. He was just trying to make it. Undrafted free agent, humble, hardworking. Only had like 1 or 2 tattoos at the time. You could have a convo with him.
Gross hair.
Have a beer with him. Yeah, well, he actually had good hair at the time. I mean, it was just. Then he has stop with the Colts and the Cardinals. Then he goes to WWE and he changes completely.
This guy was walking around. People were freaking out over him, Pat. And I'm telling you,
Yeah, disgusted by him. That's what you mean.
If this guy can keep this thing going on a rocket ship, SummerSlam, I don't know who I'm picking beforehand. I love you, but guys,
All right.
Hang up on Shrakes.
Nice knowing you, Shrakes.
Thank you, Shrakes.
Shrakes.
What a fool.
Let's get to a break.
Can't believe Corbin just pulled one, over his eyes.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Shrakes that big of a mark.
We'll call Shrakes back in 4 minutes, and we'll see if he has, realized that he's been bamboozled.
Peter Mark Shrakes.
Shrakes, you've been hoodwinked, pal. Okay, by bum ass Corbin.
Unbelievable. Christ.
We're back in 4 minutes, maybe with Shrakes. We'll see. He's gonna have to answer some text messages.
I don't want to talk to the guy.
It's unbelievable, dude.
He's not sure. Are you kidding me?
Shout out to the Plum School Board for approving our donation.
Shout out. Shrakes on that board now?
Well,
sounds like it.
No, because that board is right. I've been told that I can't judge this board off of previous boards or anything like that. That's what I've been told numerous times. And then that clown car showed up at an ATM and took $800 out of there like 10 straight times and robbed from the fucking elementary school kids.
And Shrakes took that, clown nose off the car and put it on his own face.
Sounds like it.
What was that
That's
about?
what that sounded like. Hey, we don't need clown time, okay? John Wayne Gacy Shrakes.
Yeah. Seriously.
We're back in 4. We're going to ask him about real NFL stuff.
Freaking Mark, dude.
It's the Pat McAfee Show. You like Trey Lance, huh? You love the way he plays, you love the way he operates. How about how he handled the whole situation last year? I mean, this is isn't a kind of awkward situation going on over there, or not at all?
I mean, some would say it's definitely awkward. I mean, you trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback. Like, there's writing on the wall. Like, it is what it is. It's the NFL. It's a profession. Everyone's trying to bring in younger, better, cheaper players. And then that's just the way the league is. And so there is an awkwardness to it, I guess. But at the end of the day, we're all here on the same team, and we're trying to win Super Bowl. So it's the lucky thing that we have here at the Niners is I feel like we have a fantastic culture of guys that just want to get better every day, and we love everybody in the locker room. So, Jimmy G could have, he could have been a dick and said, it's not my job, not my responsibility to take care of this guy and put him under my wing. But instead what he did is he was professional every single day. He didn't complain one time. He showed up, he worked, he started, he got us to an NFC Championship game and helped Trey along the way. And so I thought Trey took a bunch of steps forward. And for Trey to become a really good quarterback in the NFL, he needs reps. And so once this kid gets a lot of reps, just watch out, because some of the things I've seen him do in practice kind of mind-boggling me, so I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's considered great athlete, right? Because obviously Aaron waited behind Brett Favre for 3 years, right? And I wish, and I've said this publicly a lot, and I'm sure the Luck family doesn't like this, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year. Like, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year to see how he operates in the building, how you operate with equipment managers, training, like everything like that. Trey getting an opportunity to watch Jimmy G do this, who's from the Tom Brady mentor camp or whatever. Did he make leaps? Like, did you see leaps and bounds as him as a player, as a football, as an NFL guy? Or is it just like a consistent growth with him and he's kind of just chill?
Both. I think it's consistently gotten better, but you could see, Jimmy G is a professional through and through. Jimmy G takes notes every single meeting. He asks questions every meeting. He's in his books. And I think once Trey saw that, he was like, oh, I need to do all that and more. And it's also, too, we have a great quarterback room. We got Nate Sudfeld in there, who's also he's got a nice little silly release. I like him a lot, too. He's great for Trey, too, because he's a people person. He helps Trey with the offense, and he did a great job helping him all year, too. So Trey has taken, in my opinion, big steps forward. If you compare him to last year's OTAs, I think he's 2 different players. And that's just exciting to see. Now, if Trey Lance was the starting quarterback, and if I say because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, not your decision. Not your decision.
Yeah, thank God it's not my decision. It's all you, Kyle. You got this. I believe in you. But all reps. And, if there's growing pains, there's growing pains. I think we have a good enough team around him, from Trent Williams to Nick Bosa to Fred Warner to George Ayuk to Brent to Deebo Samuel. We have enough guys around him to help him out through those growing pains. And so if it happens, it is what it is. And hey, you know what? If at the end of the day we have to run the ball 35 times, count me in, baby.
Yeah, you love that, huh? Just fucking mauling people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was that last season where you threw a guy and then continued to run, or was that 2 seasons ago? I don't remember. It's kind of all getting tracked. You're an absolute savage, though. Huh?
It happens every season.
Couple quick questions, though, that we have to get cleared up.
Okay.
You walk into a store, okay, and it's like a farming store.
Oh man.
Okay?
This is new. This is new to me.
No, I think you'll get it right. I think you'll get it
Hopefully.
right.
Tractor supply.
Tractor supply. There's a John Deere tractor right here, and then there's a Bobcat tractor right here. Which one are you more likely to purchase, Matt?
John Deere. My dad had one growing up.
All you need to know. That is all you need to know.
Oh yeah.
All right, that was the only question.
Holy shit.
All right, that was the most important part of this whole thing.
Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah.
Bucket.
Super Bowl. Do you want to guarantee a Super Bowl or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
Come on.
Hey, welcome back to the show.
Here we go.
We almost just had a moment of silence for a friendship that has come and gone.
Yeah, had to.
But instead, I believe we let bygones be bygones,
Okay.
and people can say stupid stuff. They can apologize.
Sure.
And we can move on.
Sure.
Joining us again, the man who, when asked who's the most likable NFL players of all time, said Michael Strahan,
Sure.
a man that he has zero relationship with.
Of course.
Nate Burleson, who he has a great relationship with.
Yeah, good friend.
And I believe Ray Guy was the third person he did.
Yeah, it was right.
Man who just said that by SummerSlam, you know, he's probably pulling for the guy, if he accepts my challenge, that I will be fighting in Tennessee. But a man that we continue to bring on the show because of how good he is at football talk. So good that it's actually Emmy worthy.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Here we go. Peter.
Great guy.
Schrags, great guy. Great
interesting.
guy. Schrags, how you doing, bub?
You're the man. I'm sorry I brought up wrestling. I should stay in my own lane. The 2 minutes when I was hung up on and thought that I ruined our relationship were 2 of the scariest minutes of my life.
Well, we were close.
Yeah. Still on the fence. Kind of, Peter.
Listen, listen.
Not out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
Let's talk sports. All right, you need to stay out of sports entertainment, okay? Because that's where
Not good at it.
bum ass. Hey, we tell Kyle Brandt too that I can't chew. I wish I could. I'd be much cooler if I could do that. The only drug that my body does not handle well, I mean, aside from probably meth and other things,
Sure.
the standard is tobacco. I can't do tobacco. But what he said this morning about Aaron Rodgers, week 13, with me sitting there and him, he said, I think at one point they'll be 10-3 at the time, maybe 11-2. They might have slipped up 9-4,
Yeah.
and Aaron will give an entire speech about how the entire world thought we were going to crumble and we didn't. And he said something about me sitting there with a hammer of a dip in. Only thing that he got wrong in that entire thing. And tell him I appreciate the hell out of him, and I wish you would maybe take a little bit of a page out of his book and be a little respectful to what we got going on over here.
From the Brand Bible.
You know what I mean, Shrakes?
Kyle was hilarious. He said that it's like Rodgers will have an ironic, like, funny T-shirt on, and McAfee will have the wide collar black tank top on, which you did, and he was going to be sitting there, and Rodgers is going to be in that slow voice, and he's going to say, you know, hey, everyone was so worried about us in June. Meanwhile, I'm the next one up. I'm like, I don't know. I think Hackett and Getsy are pretty big losses, along with Devontae Adams. I'm trying to make sports television here, but I do honestly feel that I can't imagine the offense is going to be as good without Devontae, their OC, and their quarterbacks coach. But I don't think they're going to end up being like a under 500 team. But I think that offense could have some hiccups. I think Hackett was a big deal, and not having Hackett in his ear is going to matter.
I agree. Hey, listen, there might be some hiccups. I think the expectations of that offense for the first time in a long time aren't like, hey, you're going to be the best offense in the NFL. You're going to be the most well-oiled machine, because they don't take as many deep shots. He doesn't have as many deep balls. His yardage isn't necessarily more than everybody else. They are just a machine, and he is picking things apart, making the right decisions, methodically moving down the field, touchdown. Now, will the defense get a stop? Hopefully they get more, but then he goes right back out, answer. And in years past, if he didn't score on every drive, it was like, This prima donna.
What's going on?
I mean,
I think this year is the first year, though. I think this is the first year going into the season, though, where that offense has excuses, and I think they have public expectation levels a little bit lower, which is right where, right? Don't you like Aaron? Like,
that's up, and the fact he was around, when it was required to be around, I think he's going to galvanize this team, and he's going to say, all right, they're picking against us, let's go. But they get Jair Alexander back, they get David Bakhtiari back.
Do they?
Hopefully.
Have you heard that? Have you heard that?
Those two rookies they got out of Georgia, the big boy in the middle, Wyatt, and then Quay Walker, those guys are going to play year one, and they're really good. And they're 2 first-round picks. Maybe. Who's Rodgers going to throw to? That's going to be the question. And if Lazard and Sammy Watkins and Watson and maybe Amari Rodgers steps up, they're going to have to find a guy on 3rd and 7 that Rodgers feels comfortable enough throwing to, because I'm not so sure outside of Devontae last season there was that guy.
Okay, so we didn't want to bring it up whenever it happened, but it was said that Bakhtiari was not in drills during OTAs. You just said he'll be back. Is that on?
I hope. I don't know. I mean, the expectation is you missed a whole season last year, and now it's been another 5 months. You got the contract, and the hope is that he will be back. I should not speak out of school as if I've got breaking news that he's going to be starting at left tackle week 1. But the expectation, as far as I know, is that he is going to heal up and he will be ready to go.
All right, so let's get past all your bullshit here, right? You're giving Aaron a lot of things to talk about whenever he does his Kyle Brandt speech that he just gave you, literally, without Hackett, without the whole thing, the whole Corbin thing. Let's move past that now. Let's talk about your bread basket. Let's talk about your bread and butter. The Niners, Deebo Samuel, he is back, but there was no rescission of the trade request. Jimmy G, allegedly going to be able to throw within the next week or two. And a source told, I forget who, somebody for the Niners beat, I apologize for not remembering the name, that Jimmy G will be able to make all the throws and rehab is coming back very, very together. What are you hearing on that situation? Does the Jimmy G trade affect the Deebo Samuel payment? And do all parties know that?
I don't think those two things are intertwined. They're two separate things. I think Deebo, they're still having an open dialogue, and the hope is that the agent, Tory Dandy, and John Lynch can come to some sort of agreement where if it's not an extension at this point, at least we can understand that we want Deebo to be a part of this and he will get paid. The Jimmy thing is fascinating because back in February at the Combine, I was talking to everyone there. They're like, well, he'll get traded. Then the surgery completely threw a corkscrew in this whole thing. No one wanted to trade for a quarterback coming off of surgery without having their eyes on him. And the Niners don't want to trade him for 20 cents on the dollar, which is what essentially they would have to do. Now we're at the point where, okay, Jimmy needs to start throwing. He has not been with the team. He has been, for the most part, when he's been training, he has been in Southern California. Trey Lance has been with the team. Trey Lance has been leading practices. Trey Lance has been leading guys. Trey Lance has been throwing with wide receivers. I don't know if the train has left the station as far as, who are you going into battle with week 1? Trey Lance grew leaps and bounds the past few months, from what I'm told, as far as playbook, but also as far as voice in the locker room. And with Jimmy being gone, Trey has really taken that and been like, all right, I'm the dude, follow me. And a lot of the guys are starting to follow and say, okay, this is going to be our future leader. Fascinating what they do with Jimmy Garoppolo, because I still think a team would want to trade for him, at least for the 1 year where he's making $25 million. But if this guy's arm is right, I feel like he's a better option than some of these quarterbacks you're seeing in other cities.
So, Trey, it sounds like you alluded to the fact that maybe Jimmy and Trey are going to be competing for a job at San Fran this year after Jimmy did an entire goodbye press conference last year to everybody, including the reporters and media, handled it as a professional. And if you look in Cleveland, now there's mixed reports on Baker might be playing for the fucking Browns. So both these quarterbacks that we just assumed were gone, Jimmy and Baker, two very different goodbyes from the teams. One public, it ain't going to work. And Jimmy was like, hey, I appreciate everything you guys have done. I'll be on my way. Now they both might be heading back. Is that what you're hearing and thinking?
I could see Jimmy being back in San Francisco and then figuring something out and trying to trade him during training camp once he starts getting those throws in. I'd be shocked if Baker Mayfield is a Brown.
Why is that? Do you know something that we don't know, or is this just all the public stuff?
Yeah, the way that thing ended, it really crumbled, and I think those bridges have been burned. I think that thing, the way that it all went down, the way that they went out to acquire Deshaun Watson and go out and do the way they did it aggressively, and then on the back end, the way Baker spoke to the team via Instagram and demanding trades and still not exactly being a warm embrace for the Browns. I think they've got too much pride as a franchise, and he's got too much pride as a quarterback. And everyone says, yeah, but it's $18 million. Throw your pride out the window. Have ball out. Go and have a great season. Go and then earn that contract the next place. I don't think Baker wants to play for the Browns. I don't think he wants to give them his body again. And
does he have a
his
choice?
leadership and all that again. I think he'd like to be traded They just have to find a partner. And to be honest, they've got Jacoby Brissett. They still think Deshaun Watson's going to play quarterback. I don't think they want Baker Mayfield anymore either.
Okay, so does Baker have a choice? You can just answer that quickly, then we'll move on.
I don't think he has much of a choice. No, but if he came to them and was like, you know what? Let's let bygones be bygones. Please, I'd love to play for you this year. Can you keep me on? Like, maybe that conversation changes, but that's not in Baker Mayfield's MO. That's not his style.
Maybe. We never know. I mean, once again, $18.5 million, and maybe it's the only place that you'll be able to start if the Carolina Panthers get in the Jimmy G game as opposed to the Baker Mayfield game. And the Seattle Seahawks maybe would be the only destination for Baker.
Seahawks, Panthers, those are the two teams I would circle. But Seahawks aren't going for Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners would never trade him into the division. So for me, Baker still makes a lot of sense in Carolina or Seattle. And Jimmy G, I'm not sure the landing spot, but you're talking about a guy for 1 year as a veteran. If there's an injury somewhere else, or if there's a team that wants to say, hey, let's give our young guy another guy in the room that I think can actually compete and win the job, that would be making a lot of sense too.
Okay, let's move to Watson. This thing is fascinating, Schrags. And you've been around the league a long time. I've been around, I guess, for a long time as well, more than a decade. No big deal.
Whoa, how about that?
I've been covering the NFL for more than a decade, but I've been around the NFL on the inside of it for a little bit. And I feel like I had a position where I could be perspective of everything going on. You know, I could kind of look around and see things and have a little bit more of a dialogue on how the day-to-day works. The Deshaun Watson, and I went through a couple of CBA negotiations and listened to all the people that are pissed off about everything. I had my own deals with the NFLPA because when I was in the substance of abuse program, they were nowhere to be found as I was getting abused. And then they sold my rights for pennies on a dollar, like you said. So I'm not necessarily the biggest NFLPA fan either, but I do know that they're going to bat for Deshaun Watson currently. This Sue Robinson courtroom that is happening within the NFL bubble, there was a potential settlement that almost came about, but they couldn't agree on a term. And then now they're in court the last 2 days. Deshaun Watson's been there. This is happening in the state of Delaware, I believe.
Okay.
Is that where it's at? It's in Delaware, I think.
Yes.
Still happening today. Sue will give her ruling. Then she tells there's appeals, but the NFL said they don't want to get into appeal game because that's ugly for everybody. Then that'll go to Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell makes his decision. Today, it felt like from a tweet from a guy named Mr. Mahdi, Rob Mahdi, Maaddi. He said that the NFL, if Sue Robinson came back and they were pushing for an indefinite suspension, at least a year, NFLPA is obviously pushing for nothing. So if you do just classic negotiation and meet in the middle, that'd be 8.5 games? Because now it's a 17-game season. So allegedly what Rob Mahdi's reporting, and we don't know who Rob Mahdi is or who his sources are, he's saying that if the Sue Robinson was to roll back 6 to 8 game suspension, the NFL wouldn't want to get ugly with it, and they'd say, okay. Sue would then take that to Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell would make his own decision on whether or not that's good enough or bad enough. I assume this is going to be at least a season with how everything has gone, how public this has been. It's sounding like maybe there's a little bit of a foundation being laid, like, hey, maybe not a full season. Let's go to. What are you thinking about the whole process, and when do you think it ends, and how do you think it ends? Sure.
I can't project on this because it is so fluid. Things were going one way, and then you get more women coming out and saying, actually, hey, no, there's more women coming, and that door is left open. So those numbers have continued to add up. When you talk about the legal thing, you've nailed it, Pat, where it's here's the recommendation from the judge. Usually those are held in very high regard, and then Goodell will make a recommendation or make a ruling on that. Then the NFLPA will appeal that, but then the NFL can appeal the NFLPA's ability to appeal that, which is what happened with the Brady case, and it goes all the way up the courts, and you miss games, and the guys win, and then they go back. I think the NFL, from their standpoint, would like to have a decision on this in the next couple of weeks before we head into training camp. And I believe Watson's camp would obviously be hopeful that he can get on the field, and the Browns, of course, would be happy to get him on the field. I think the public relations part of it, which you guys were discussing beforehand, I'm not so sure that's going to dictate how this goes. I think it's going to be from the facts that they have and from the recommendations that Ms. Robinson has on it, Justice Robinson has on this thing, because you start playing a game where you're trying to please one group versus the other, and there's a no-win in that one.
Hey, there's going to be people that are pissed regardless. I mean,
this is a no-win regardless. So say they give him a year, well, then there's going to be a case from the PA saying, well, there's no precedent to give him a year based on the evidence that we have. You know, necessarily that the fact that they haven't settled, they believe that
I'm a
Watson
super player guy. Hey, I think I'm maybe the most player friendly player pushing, player promoting show, player apologist show maybe that has ever existed, right? Because I feel like I see some things from their perspective. There is precedent. Ben Roethlisberger had 2 cases that did not go to court. They both got settled. He got suspended 6 games for that. That got appealed down to 4. That's 2. Now, I guess it's not fair just to do math and just do that whole thing. But I appreciate the fact that the NFLPA is saying publicly there's no precedent with this with Robert Kraft or Daniel Snyder or Jerry Jones, which I guess there isn't. But we also all understand that they're owners of the league in which you are currently going to court at, right? Yeah. There is precedent in the past. And I assume that's exactly what the NFL is saying to Justice Sue Robinson whenever the NFLPA, Jeffrey Kessler is an incredible lawyer. He got free agency, I think, and numerous other things. I know he's a power player, but the public perception of them saying there's no precedent, there's no precedent, there's no precedent. I think I was in Pittsburgh. Or no, I wasn't. I was in a cold already.
It was 06 when it went down, and I was starting to cover the league then, and that was Goodell, like, as a new commissioner, one of the first things, and he, like, laid the hammer down, and people were like, damn, like, whoa, okay. And here we are all these years later, and Goodell's, this long tenured commissioner. And I think this might be one of the trickiest cases yet that he's had to rule on. I think he's going to lean on what the justice says, but not public relations. I feel like this is going to be what the facts are and what they have. And, to just throw the book at Deshaun Watson because they feel like that's the right thing to do and that's going to be a win publicly, the NFLPA is powerful, and Jeffrey Kessler is not going to take that and just go down without a fight.
Agreed. I can't wait to watch it. It's fascinating because there's so much other shit, I think, with this penalty than the Baker stuff. And how's the Baker stuff affected the Jimmy G stuff? How's the Jimmy G stuff affected Debo stuff? Which you're saying are 2 things, but it feels like there's.
And I've had people around the league reach out to me because I've got the NFL Network connection, and they're like, "Do you have a date we're going to know?" And it's like I don't. And a lot of times I do. I hear things and it's like, all right, expect it around the draft. Expect this around. Whatever. This is one where the NFL, almost by design, intentionally, deliberately, and in this case, rightfully, is like, we're not putting a date on this. We're not doing it to do a favor to Deshaun Watson or to the Browns. We're leaving this door open until we have as many facts as we can and do as thorough a job as we can because we don't want egg on our face on the back end.
Yeah,
so the timetable that everyone's putting on this, and I even said it, I'm like it before training camp. That comes from the teams and the players and the PA and Watson and all this stuff because that's nice and clean. I don't think the NFL is necessarily worried about that stuff as much as maybe we in the sports media are.
Schrags, these off seasons, man.
There's no off season, bro.
There is, though, because this off season, we're talking about this right now. We're talking about litigation and figuring out what the whole thing is. This is, you know what I mean? It's not a. We need football back. How many days, Connor?
71 days.
71 days to NFL football, Schrags. 71 days. Let's
it.
go, dude. Huh? We can make it. We can get through all this stuff, can't we, Schrags?
I'll tell you, I got a little taste of it this weekend in Kansas City, seeing the Chiefs fans, and I was hanging out with Colquitt, great punter, great dude.
Sure.
We were kicking it, and then just a little taste of it, and it gets me going, and I'm like, I can't believe we got Bills-Rams in a couple months, Thursday night. Like, let's go.
10 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, you guys were in the studio for like 2 days there at NFL Films. It looked fucking awesome. That was a beautiful setup. And then you guys went back to the digital. Is it going to be kind of halftime in, halftime out now for you guys?
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of jumping back and forth. And then by training camp, we'll be fully back in studio. And we should have some new faces joining us here and
full
there.
Cast.
Hey.
I'm excited about the crew we're putting together.
Hey, that's official, right? Jamie's official now?
I don't know what's official publicly press release wise, but I've chatted with her a few times. She's the real deal. Jamie Erdahl's her name. She was a sideline reporter with the NFL, then of course with the SEC doing the number 1 games. She's the real deal. It's been really cool getting to know her. So the expectation is she'll be hosting, but I don't say anything officially because I don't know how the contracts and all that work.
Well, congrats to her and to you.
Jamie.
Are you guys going out in the woods doing some trust falls and everything
You like
that?
this? I'm out here in the wilderness. I needed a little time off, and you know what? We're doing the show remotely. I said, let's get out of the city. Let's get into the sticks. So we rented a little small spot out here in the woods, and I'm going to go for a little journey afterwards and find myself.
Hey, listen. Nick Foles did that. He ended up winning the Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. So you could potentially win another Emmy and maybe get that show back to where it was just like 2-3 months ago.
That's right. It's been a while.
Hey, let's go. Good morning football. Huh? Hey, that's on you and Brant. That's on you and Brant's shoulders. You know
we
that.
like it. We're embracing it. Like, let's go. I feel like you'd feel. It's funny. I was talking to the Impractical Jokers, name drop, but those guys lost one of their hosts, and I was talking to them about that.
Joe, yeah.
It was tough.
Murr and Q, those guys, and they're like, change, it happens. Like, let's go. Let's put on a great show for people and show that this can still keep rolling. That's how I feel about Good Morning Football. I love the damn show, and I'm not going to let this thing die. So Kyle feels the same way. We're going to keep on entertaining it just like you guys do every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pleasure and it's a joy, and I just can't wait to have another great year.
Hey, don't leave out Salvo calling it.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Sal's a huge part of that.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. Yeah. I was an Impractical Joker fan for maybe
it's on all day.
8 months I was in there with them. And then I went to a live show, gave them some of my money. Hey, I appreciate what you've done. Then I watched a little bit. Then I was like, all right, I've experienced this. But they are brilliant. I think that is an absolutely brilliant concept. The microphones and the cups, just the whole
Genius.
The amount of hours too that they got to sit in there to get the patience. I'm a big fan of them. I didn't know you were best friends with them.
Works? Because the same exact magic you have in that room in Indianapolis that I got to see in person, it's they're boys. They're real boys. They're not put together by an executive.
No, we're Mustangs.
They're boys.
They're not you.
We're Mustangs. We're not boys.
You're not.
No,
We're not the Cowboys.
You did not go to our high
We're the
school.
Plum Mustangs, baby.
No, you did not.
Mustangs
so
right
everybody
together.
in this room now, because Ty is out with his baby for the next few
congrats.
weeks. Congrats, Ty.
How about Josh?
So Nick has moved into the room. So me, Nick, and Tone went to the same high school.
And
so
Connor.
So Connor, for the last few days, he's been like, "Oh, it's like Plum High School in
The
here."
Mustangs sitting around the cafeteria,
All right.
shooting the shit.
Ask your
Pat,
question.
who was the best student out of you guys? Like, I know the athlete and who got the most girls. Who was the best student? Who had the best grades?
Nick,
Yeah.
right, Tone? No, Tone.
Tony.
Tone went to like an Ivy League type school.
All
Tony,
scholastics.
Let's not.
I mean, you went to West Virginia, no offense.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
We're all Mustangs.
Are
Are we
dicks.
busting out SATs and GPAs?
I was a very good
Can we
student
do
in high school.
SATs? What'd you guys get on the SATs? I would love this. Or ACTs in Midwest.
I got 1280 on it. It was back when
Did
I was
you
on-
really?
Yeah, but my GPA was very low. So a lot of people, this guy doesn't try, basically. A lot of.
1280 is amazing. I got 1210. 1280 is amazing.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I'm a great test taker. I always have been. Wonderlic very high as well. I just
Really?
don't apply myself in class normally because I didn't like the teachers. I'm like a full one of those guys. What'd you get? You got 1210?
1210.
Where'd you go to school?
Emory in Atlanta.
Whoa.
What's that? Is that?
I just figure it's good. 12-10.
What is your?
Bro, I was all verbal. I got like 780 verbal, like a perfect score on verbal, and got like a 200 on math.
I got 0 on verbal.
Yeah, my GPA was so bad, and then my SAT score was good. So to get into West Virginia, I knew what I had to get SAT wise.
That's really good, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Always been a good test. I was pretty hungover when I took it as well. No, nobody would be
High
surprised
school,
about that.
amazing.
Yeah, nobody would be. Well, I guess I was still kind of boozed up, I guess. It's not really a hangover in high school. Walked in there, had a good time. I think I had to score above an 800 or a 900 or something
What
like
did
that.
Tone get?
Yeah, Tone, what did you get?
1160.
That's a good score.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's a good score.
I graduated 3.5. I could be.
Nick just said okay in a fashion.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he probably
knew.
did.
Yeah.
No, I had an 1100,
In the same
Diggs.
ballpark.
but I had a 3.6.
Oh.
So he got me then.
Looks like
Had a baby, Nick. Thank you,
didn't
Nick.
have a quiz or something.
Nick also went to like 9 years of school, college, Like
Multiple schools?
I was retiring from the NFL and he was taking another class. It was like, yo, what are we
Like every
doing?
area of my life, though, except for this, I have rapidly declined.
I think everybody is. I think everybody is.
So if we were to take a test,
Hey,
today,
Emory's
you would
good school. Emory's a
blow
good
me out of the
school.
water.
Oh yeah.
Good school.
What was your GPA? High threes?
4.0.
4.0.
This guy.
Peter.
This guy's a brain.
Did all the extracurriculars. Was that kid? Played sports, played 3 sports, like was ready to go. I was a great candidate. They didn't have anyone from New Jersey, so I was like, I'm the guy, and school's in Atlanta, so they wanted my Yankee ass. And I went
Hey,
That's
congrats,
genius.
Greg.
Holy shit.
Connor, your question for the genius here?
Yeah, Strakes, is there any thought that all the other lawsuits are going to come into effect when they kind of rule on the Watson? Because they got Gruden, now Kamara, they got the Snyder thing, they have the Flores suit. Like, there's obviously a lot of, other things surrounding the NFL right now. So are they going to try and just get this done and maybe it is 8 or 10 or 12 games?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's a timetable based on those other things, but those other things are still around and they're lingering. And obviously the Daniel Snyder thing is unrelated to the NFLPA, but it's something that everyone's watching. Like this is the time to get that stuff done, but I don't think the NFL is putting a hard deadline on. Let's just put out a ruling to put out a ruling. I honestly feel this case is something that they're going to take their time with, and they'll decide what they decide when they feel like they're ready to decide it.
Schrags, now that Terry McLaurin has got his deal, is there have you heard anything About Seattle, Deontay Johnson, Debo. I forgot Seattle's wide receivers.
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Have you heard anything along those lines?
No, DK is the one that I'd keep my eye on, though, because McLaurin was next up on the list, and his agent got that done. But Debo and DK and A.J. Brown are all represented by the same guy.
Dahn.
A.J. got his. Debo's still having the conversation, but DK is a fascinating one. And, if I'm him, I'd want to get that done before I have a season without Russell Wilson where the numbers maybe dip or maybe the production's down. But they love him up there in Seattle, and they could have traded him during the draft, and I'm sure there were many calls, and it really wasn't up for debate. They weren't looking to shop him.
Well, we just went right through the heart out.
Oh, yeah.
And that was our fault, not yours. But I was going to say hour two's on the other side. But what your answer there about DK Metcalf is so real, because it felt like he was leaving. And then now it feels full on like, hey, this is one of the pillars now that Bobby's out and Russ is out. Is that a fact? Like they are going to get that deal done with DK? It sounded like that was the case.
I would expect them to try to get a deal done before letting him walk out or trade him like his college buddy A.J. Brown was traded.
Hey, $25 million per that guy.
Good player.
Great deal.
57 guaranteed.
Oh, this one, 76.8% of his money has been guaranteed. Did you see how that was reported yesterday? Scary Terry's deal. It said highest signing bonus amongst active wide receivers, and his percentage is 76.8% guaranteed or something like that. I was like, all right, here we go. We're diving into the numbers of contract. I respect it. I like it. I like it, Shrakes.
You guys are great. I don't know Terry McLaurin's percentage of guaranteed, but I can talk ball, and I love talking with you guys. Sorry about the heart out.
No, the heart out already came and gone.
yeah.
We are just on YouTube right now.
Thank you.
The radio listeners aren't going to be happy, is what we're saying.
Sorry.
It's all right. We don't know if any of them are out there.
Answer. So worthless. Like I should have just gotten out of there. I should have seen the clock.
Yeah, especially up in the fucking sticks that you're at. Yeah. And on clocking the wall over
I
there.
thought you guys went to Emory. You fucking body clock.
Hey, we just looked this up. Emory is not an Ivy League school, but it is on par with the education of an Ivy League school, it says on the internet. And that's what Tone Diggs went to. They say the same thing. I assume
right. Exactly.
one's telling the truth. That'd be yours. And one is lying, and that'd be Tone's.
No. If there was more grass at Duquesne University, it would have been an Ivy League school.
Legally. Is that Emory's issue? Is too much concrete?
Emory's wonderful. It's a little paradise in Atlanta. I'm telling you. We went down for a visit. It was sunny in like the middle of January, and I looked at my dad, and I'm like, this is where I'm going. And that's where I ended up.
The universe has told me here. Mm-hmm. The sun's shining. Atlanta. Oh, what a place.
Hey, and listen, Pat, this was like peak Atlanta. Like Outkast, Ludacris, Usher just getting started at Atlanta. And it was like,
Lil Jon,
Titty Boy.
It was great.
Titty Boy not around. He's still around playing basketball. I don't think he's rapping yet.
Ah, shit.
Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, though, are having a whisper song probably down there at the
from the window to the wall.
Only 19% of people are accepted to Emory.
17th wealthiest school in North America.
17.
Let's go, Shrakes!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Money.
Duquesne
Not
will let
the Coke,
anybody
I'm
in.
talking about Coca-Cola money. That's where it all comes from. Woodruff,
Chick-fil-A.
the huge donor. So all this Coca-Cola money just come pouring in. It was just like living in paradise. It was great.
Well, no better person it could happen to than you, Shrakes. Especially with how you came in here toting Baron Corbin's.
Yeah, that was
I tried
interesting.
being a part of the storyline. Then I thought you were actually mad at me, and I'm like, I'm never talking again about anything I don't know about.
Actually, well, I was.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Mark?
I actually was, man. Come on. Jeez Louise, dude. We appreciate you, Shrakes. Have a good one, man. Enjoy the sticks out there.
You guys are awesome. I'm going to go for a walk and kind of talk to myself.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, talk to yourself about what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Feel bad.
You should.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Shrakes!
I'm a big Shrakes fan.
Oh, yeah. He's a great guy.
How about him going to... We always talk good about him.
Yes.
Yeah, always.
And if Shrakes was to go to war with anybody, guess what? We're on Shrakes' side. Unless we like the other person more. Which
Sure.
could be the case.
Depends on the person.
All right, let's get to a break. We're about 2.5 minutes till hour 2 with A.J. Hawk and Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Ooh.
We're back in 2 minutes. You all were the best. That's been hour 1. Big thanks to Shrakes from the Sticks chit-chatting with us. To hell with Corbin.
Hell yeah.
Bum ass.
We're back in 2 minutes. Cheers. Do you ever think about dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but
Never.
you are beloved on there,
never,
Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because two things. Number one, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. all the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies, and then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I gotta say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to fight all the time. I'm too old to fight now, but I can still verbalize some insult.
Yes.
And like, let's say if I'm out drinking, because people know I like to drink. If I'm drinking my vodka or some tequila and you insult me, there's a 100% chance I'm gonna say some shit back at you. And the problem with being famous, Pat, and I don't like calling myself famous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, 21.
People can say anything they want to me, and nobody gives a shit. But the first time I go crazy on their ass, I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah, you're not classy. You're not professional, obviously. Yeah. Be a
so
gentleman.
I choose not to let people have access to me in that situation.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let's ride. Hour 2 on this Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. Sports talk obviously continues here on the internet and the radio. The Toxic Table is here at Nick Moraldo, at Boston Connor, one half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys. Tone Diggs
How you
is here.
doing?
Tone, I didn't know you had a 4.
High school?
Yeah.
5.
Holy hell. I did not know you.
A-minus.
How were you able to accomplish that? Congratulations. Good on you, pal.
Yeah.
And Nick, you had a 3.6?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Whoa.
you nerds. I had no idea.
My God.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Thought it was important at the time.
It is.
Yeah, still.
It is very important.
So you can say in this conversation.
Coach
Fox,
was,
you got a 3.8?
Coach was
Dork.
very on me
Yeah.
about that.
That's awesome.
It's all relative, though. Like, I only took 1 AP class, so there are people that took 5 AP classes, had college credit. They had a worse
Yeah, I
GPA
ditched
than-
all those.
See, I
Marks
appreciate
do that.
I appreciate the fact that Sally and Tim wanted me to do well. I did. I probably like three low 3 something, just showing up and doing my thing.
Exactly.
But also, I was on the road like 4 days a week, so Sally and Tim were very understanding. Like, hey, there might be homework that you've never done in your entire life, and it's like, yeah. Never done it, actually. And that can affect your grade every once in a while, especially with some teachers that just don't want to give you the, hey, how about it's you versus me? Just give me tests. You
Yeah.
know, I don't need the homework. It's just you versus me. Let's figure it out. That always got me. You guys being that good at students is very
Now,
surprising. I'm very impressed.
Also, I did the thing where you would do the homework for the next class and the class before, and then I was very good at cheating.
See, I never cheated.
Oh, yeah.
Cheating was so
Never.
easy.
You get that Dixon Ticonderoga, and it has like the 4 or 5 sides, and you can etch. Like a lot of people would write notes and then slip them into the mechanical pencil, so you could see through the mechanical pencil.
Yeah.
I did. I could etch and I could do it.
Another solid move was the bottle back when they had the wrapping.
Yeah, and you
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people would have it on the wrapping, and then you'd be able to unwrap and fully wrap and put
Or
it right
the-
there.
Well, then we weren't allowed to carry water bottles at school because one kid filled his up with vodka and they took them away from everybody. So.
That's sweet.
That's Plum, baby.
Yeah.
Joining us now is somebody that would have fit in just fine at Plum. Probably would have had more sacks than Joe Hadley, which is a shame. More
Whoa.
tackles than Tone Diggs.
For sure.
A college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a COVID survivor, private plane survivor, a man who just got a fresh haircut just a couple days ago.
Yep.
AJ Hawk.
Yeah!
AJ, what was you were very good in school, I assume. Centerville, they just gave you A's. It's Ohio. You do your AJ Hawk. We'll just give
He's
you
a
that.
Hawk.
Yeah.
34 tackles.
I wish.
Plus.
I never had any of that at any level. Like, in college, I went to class. I had to try hard. I mean, I graduated with a 3-point, probably just above a 3-point.
College or high school?
High school, college, about the same.
Yeah, baby.
Holy
AJ.
shit. Never below 3.
I heard Diggs. I was on when Diggs said, all I did was, okay, in first period, I'm doing my homework.
Yes.
They assign homework, I'm getting it done. So I didn't really ever hear what the teachers were saying because I was busy doing the homework from the previous class because I absolutely despised homework.
See, I was pretty attentive in class. I wanted to catch the teacher up in some stuff. I enjoy, you know what I mean? I enjoy listening.
I just want to finish my work.
See,
that's all I cared about.
I don't care about the work. Is this purpose? I don't think there's a point to this here. That was always my explanation to most stuff. Just give me the test. Just give me the test. I'm listening to what you're saying. But I was like Nick Cannon in that Drumline movie, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really read good.
I didn't see that.
So he couldn't read the.
Good movie.
It's a great movie. It was before he had 45.
Oh, you've talked about it. Yeah, he can't read it, but he can play.
But he can hear it, and then he can mimic it and repeat it. That's kind of how my brain operates as well. I don't read good, but I can normally hear or visualize and see things. So classes were very important to me. So I would have to pay attention in the classes, and there wasn't really anything else to do. So I would show up at the classes. But the homework, I've always just kind of mailed it in on my entire life.
You're like Mozart.
Well, Nick Cannon, Drumline. I don't know about Mozart.
He's like Mozart. Nick Cannon in Drumline.
So I'm like Nick Cannon, who's like Mozart.
Yeah.
In Drumline, though. I'm not like Nick Cannon in real life. He's just trying to impregnate everybody. I think he hates white people, too.
Really?
I think he has been on the record to say
Who?
Nick Cannon. I think he does not like us whites. I don't think he likes
I didn't know
white
that.
people.
Because he slaughtered America's Got Talent for a while, too.
Yeah, he was the host of America's Got
Yeah.
Talent when he gave a speech about how terrible white people are, I think. And then I think he went into a full thing where he was trying to build his own
network. Well, Wild and Out is still a show, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was.
He's just having another baby. That's all I know about him. It's
15 of them. Yeah, I think he's trying to build his own,
That's his network, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's in a commercial about that, actually.
Does he hate white people? I don't remember. I remember watching something where it sounded sure like,
Well, there's a headline that says Nick Cannon fired after calling white people, and I can't read what the rest of it says, but...
So he called them something.
What did he call them?
Well, that would be us. We keep saying them, but I did think we are whites. But I think he talked about how bad he hated us. Which, by the way, there's a lot of people that hate us right now, and I would like to let everybody know I understand. Okay, I hate a lot of the old whites as well.
Yeah,
I completely. Now I would like maybe a little bit of an exception because, some of us didn't just necessarily get born into the beautiful lives of a lot of whites, the whites that have come before us. But I do understand there's differences in life's being this. What do you say, Zeke? You can say it into the microphone. Oh, it wasn't about whites. It was about the Jewish community.
Oh,
okay.
Nick Cannon, sorry.
Not you, Nick.
Yeah, no.
Was this recently?
Like within the last year and a half. I mean, I remember because I was a big Nick Cannon fan. Loved Wild and Out. Loved the whole thing. He was a host. He was incredibly intelligent. He was a hustler.
Stand-up comedy. He does everything.
Actor. Comedy, rapping, hosting, producing. I'm like, this dude's a fucking one-man wrecking crew. And then he did this entire speech about how, I was like, all right, so this guy probably hates me. I don't know if he hates me, but he definitely, all right, whatever the case. He's back, though. He's producing babies.
Oh, yeah.
On a regular basis. AJ, let's talk a little bit of sports, shall we? George Kittle chatted about the Deebo Samuel situation and a little bit more with the Bussin' with the Boys. And we are former players, so we completely understand why and how he is saying what we're about to show. But I think a lot of fans of the Niners might not have expected George Kittle to say what he has said here. But I think we are in an ever-evolving education system of what the NFL actually is, which is a business as opposed to what it was in the past when players who made any decisions for themselves were labeled terrible, not good for the team. This is from Bussin' with the Boys. George Kittle joined Will Compton, I believe, in a conversation about Deebo Samuel.
Dude, everyone loves Deebo. I also think that it's the NFL. Go get what you deserve, dude. Deebo deserves to get paid a lot of money. And if they don't want to pay you a lot of money, do what you need to do, dog. Your locker's here. If you want to leave, hey, it's okay. There's no bad blood with me. The window to play NFL football and to get paid a lot of money is this big for your whole life. You got to be incredibly selfish. You just have to. And going through contract negotiations is incredibly difficult because I try my hardest to not be selfish ever. And so when you have to be selfish in that moment, it's really hard for a lot of guys. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes to contract negotiations. It's not a lot of fun. Best thing I ever heard, Richard Sherman told me it's like braces. It sucks the entire time, then as soon as you get them off, you forget that you ever had them.
Very real. And that's the bygones be bygones type conversation that we're all chatting about with Baker and anybody else that has a dispute with a team. Normally it's business related. It feels like for Baker, it's a little bit more personal related. But any business issue can be settled with the right deal. And in the right deal, maybe you don't get everything you want. They don't get everything they want. But you may be in a top 5 pick. I assume as you got older that happened. But the business side can jade the shit out of you in the NFL. And I respect and appreciate the fact that Kittle's coming out for his teammates saying, hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, because he's not the only one. That's basically the mindset of every NFL locker room across the league.
All they care about is what do you do when you're here, when you are in the facility, when we in game. Like, really, what do you do in games? We don't even care what you do in practice, anything. Off season, it really doesn't matter. If you can play on Sundays and Thursdays and Saturdays and Mondays every day we play now, then it doesn't matter. Like, no one cares. So whatever happens off the field. And with contracts, when I was first in the league, I always thought about that, especially like in college. That was back when guys actually held out for 2-3 weeks. O-linemen would hold out and try to get some more money or just try to miss camp and all that stuff. I always thought, like, man, when they come back, is it going to be weird with the coaches and everybody? Is everyone going to be pissed at them? No, it's like Santa Claus comes and everyone hugs them. I'm like, that's amazing. Yeah. This dude just missed 3 weeks and he came in and it's like the president of the United States shows up in the locker room.
And there's a lot
coaches too, though. Coaches are all excited too.
There's a lot of coaches that talk shit about how you're going to puke today. Hey, you are going to be out of shape. There's a lot of, shots taken about what they missed, what they didn't miss. But as soon as somebody comes back, if it's a business dispute and not a personal reason, as soon as they come back, everybody's loud about it. Everybody's loud. Look who it is. Rich man. Like that is a full thing. And you try to get past that awkwardness as fast as possible and make it seem like we were right back in this. That wasn't a deal. And I think inside locker rooms and people that understand the business of the NFL and maybe have been fired before or have gotten fucked over in a deal before, and that's why the locker rooms are the way they are, this has always been understood. But I think for fans, and I'll ask you, Nick, fans I think have always never really viewed it this way. But now with the modern media and the more that we know and get to learn about players via their social media and then what they give back as opposed to what they don't give back, it's hard to just say, oh, this person's a fucking asshole, when there's a lot of evidence that says, like, no, the guy's actually not an asshole. He's just trying to handle his business. It feels like it's been a little bit of turn of the tide on the viewership of business in the NFL with players.
Now that we as fans are exposed to all the news in terms of the financial situations, all the billions the organization and the league is bringing in, it's a little more eye-opening in the sense, okay, these players want their fair share too, and they're going to do what they need to do to get it, and it's business. You view it more as a business than it is so just, I'm from Pittsburgh, I like the Steelers, fuck everybody else.
You're lucky you get to play Steelers because you might have played in high school and you're like, this person has a job that I dreamed of, and now he's going to act like he's not making enough money. It's like, well, if you're in that position, pal, the job you dreamed of, we would all want you to make the most amount of money that you could possibly make. It's a little bit different than your high school when you're selling tickets and maybe raising a little bit money for your athletic department, and as opposed to billions and billions and billions of dollars being on the line. Not that you can't affect your future brain and body in high school, you certainly can, but in the NFL you see a lot of the future injuries and bodies of players. It's like, I'm happy that we're at a point where it feels like people are much more understanding that this is a business. This isn't the high school game that you played or that the guys played. This is a vastly it's the same game, different world, AJ, and I'm happy
but
that's
it's not
happening.
all bad. Like the fact that it is a business, everyone instantly wants to jump and say, oh, it's terrible. Like, it's the love of the game. That's why they started playing. Yeah, of course. And the majority of those guys out there playing absolutely love football. But there's just a lot off the field that happens. And I think what's cool is watching old school coaches. That would surprise me when I was young in the league. I was pretty naive to that. I assumed, like where I come from, hey, if you make any waves outside the locker room, like, they're going to kill you and everyone's going to hate you when you get back. Like, that's what I assume. Like, hey, you're a traitor or whatever. And it's not the case at all. Even like the most old school diehard football coaches that you can't even have a real conversation with. They only know how to talk football and 3 technique and shade and where this guy's going to be. Even that person usually, like, I've come across where they'll tell them, hey man, no, hey, take care of your business. Do what you got to do. We get it. If you need to get out of here, like, I've watched them tell people that, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's pretty cool how there's kind of a good little balance, I think.
And to the Tomlin point, it's almost like the coaches feel like, hey, you got to handle your business when you get back. It's on me to make sure you catch up. Like, it is, You know, it's a cool
That's
thing.
why we're called coach. I'm not scared to coach. That's why I like Tomlin a lot. Like that's what we're here to do.
What did Aaron Rodgers say? Cool profession, tough business, or good profession, tough business. I forget how he described playing in the NFL, but that's because a lot of guys that make it to the NFL, and I reiterate this fact a lot, but it's why the business becomes a potential jaded spot or a not so favorite part, as George Kittle described it and Sherman described it as braces. Most guys from high school are being tabbed as NFL guys. This is an NFL guy. This guy's the best in his school. This guy's the best in his team, in his surrounding area. He has a lot of articles being written about him. In college, this fucking guy might have redshirted, but this is an NFL guy. On campus, this is an NFL guy. This is an NFL guy. Then you get to a league filled with all the guys that had the same exact thing, and you are being told that you're not worth the amount that this person's worth. Or why are you asking for what this person's worth when your entire life, not everybody obviously, but most guys, your entire life you've been told you're the guy, you're the guy, you're the guy. Then you go into negotiation and they're like, you're certainly a guy, but the guy is worth this.
Yeah.
You're worth this. And that's just a direct punch right to the nuts of pride for a lot of guys. And that's when you see people get like, oh, fuck you. Everything I've done for you. I fucking broke an ankle. I sprained my fucking knee, my AC joint for this team. And now you're going to tell me that this guy that's never done a thing for our team is worth more than what I'm worth and what I'm asking. Like, what I'm asking for is a fucking problem. That's how it spirals. I'm not saying that's, by the way, my position, I'm fucking punter. I'm just saying I viewed this numerous times with numerous teammates. When guys from outside would come in and get paid, then these guys would be like, hey, I'm up. This is what I'm looking for. And like, yeah, we can't do that. It's like, motherfucker, when you were literally sitting in a corner in Philadelphia losing, I was playing in a Super Bowl for this fucking team. I was doing this whole thing. Like, that's when the business becomes, you know, a little bit of a sore subject for a lot of guys, I think, AJ.
That's what that chip on the shoulder mentality works very, very well in all of pro sports, because when you add business into something that is very personal and egos and everything, that's what drives a lot of people. I mean, that scenario you laid out, I could see being pissed. Yeah, if you're that dude and you know what you've done for the team, the little stuff you've done behind the scenes, the relationships you have, and then the GM or owner decides to do something that probably the coaches might not even like. Like, that's just how it goes, though. You have to – I always thought, like, hey, you can be pissed, you can be mad, whatever, like, give it 90 seconds, 3 minutes, do whatever you want. You got to move on eventually, man.
Yeah, because if you play bad, everything that you're bitching about, they are going to hold against you and say.
Hey, that's what's fun about football. I don't want to cut you off, but like other sports, let's say, well, quarterback, punter, a little different. Quarterbacks, you get all juiced before the game, it's probably bad because you're going to overthrow people, whatever. You got to somehow harness that. But if you're pissed off as a football player, it's by far the greatest sport to play. Because if you hate everybody, you hate coaches, this team, the front office, whoever, you just fly around and don't care, and sometimes that's the best way to play.
Tom McMahon used to, so something would happen, right? It's probably a tweet of mine. I'd get some sort of letter, and I'd be like, fuck this place, dude. Like, what are we even? I've sold more jerseys than fucking everybody in this goddamn locker room for this place. I am Walter Payton Man of the Year for this fucking place, and I'm getting shit for a goddamn tweet. So I'll go outside, and like, I'm obviously a little bit pissed off. And Tom McMahon's office had a window right to the practice field, you know, it was right next to it. And he would walk out, he goes, I could tell you're pissed off today. That fucking boom coming off the foot. Like, who did it? How do we do this anymore? Did you hear what this guy said? I'm like, fuck off, Tom, okay? Because like, I literally, as a punter, you're like a golfer, right? You're trying to find like as much, like I'm trying to be as cool as possible at all times, but a little bit of fucking, you know, a little anger, not bad. I didn't even think about a big meathead linebacker, though, just pissed off. Like, hey, Kuhn, you're fucking getting it today.
Do it.
I don't know if you heard what Andrew Brandt fucking said to me earlier. Let's go. Can we go goal line, Big Mike? Yeah, fuck you, Mike. I heard what you said, too. I said that to Chuck once. I gave Chuck a nice, hey, fuck you. I heard you were a part of this. Chuck, what the? What did I do? What? I'm so sorry. You probably did. The next day I had to do like, obviously you're a coach, head coach of the football team. I have a lot of respect for you. I shouldn't have just said fuck you to you, but in the moment, he's like, yeah, listen, I understand. Just explain to me why I'm being told to fuck off first before oh my God, Chuck, you got it. Go ahead, Connor.
Well, and the contract stuff, I don't know if it happened when you guys were in the league, but like now there's guys who get drafted and they like hold out. Like didn't both the Bosa brothers, as soon as they got drafted,
that always happened.
Yeah, the contract. That's
it actually used to happen way more. Now they can't really.
Well, that's because everything's slotted except for the guarantees and when you get the guarantees, right? So the Bosa brothers were trying to work when the guarantees were coming, when other guys, I think, just slotted, take it, keep it moving. I respect it. I like it. Just like I assume a lot of the people at the Chargers and the Niners, whenever they came back, they're like, oh, okay, big business, Bosa, trying to get the guaranteed money, trying to fuck the team a little bit earlier. We like that. We like that. We respect that.
Well, and they know, too, because both those guys, I feel like, came in right away and were unbelievable for the – like, I feel like players, like you guys were saying, they kind of know their value more so immediately because they are slotted with everybody else.
How do you feel? Schrager said this about Green Bay getting 2 Georgia guys. He said, these guys are studs. We don't know.
They were studs in college, absolutely.
Everybody.
And so they should be studs at the next level.
Everybody was studs.
Nobody knows, though. Yeah, nobody knows until they actually play, yeah.
I get so mad whenever that happens. Like, oh, this guy's going to go on to do blah, blah, blah. It's like, who says that? Well, in high school, he had 50,000 yards. It's like, all right, he was playing against fucking Connor in high school. And he was in the SEC. It's like, I understand that. I understand he was the SEC, great players. But not everybody's just able to pick it up in the NFL. It's a different sport, right? And you would be able to attest to this a lot more. Why is the NFL so vastly different than college? And why do you think some guys make it and some guys don't? Is it all because of the amount of time you have to prepare and study and everything like that?
I mean, yeah, that's a huge part of it, but there's still people out there. There's still guys that can play off just raw athletic ability, and they can just shut people down in what they do. The biggest difference probably is that everybody is good. In college, you play a team, and if they have
even in the SEC,
yeah, like if they have 3 or 4 guys that are going to get drafted, I could say I'm playing defense in college, and the offense I'm facing has maybe 3 guys drafted. There's not a whole lot of teams that have 3 offensive players drafted. Like I'm playing Texas, Vince Young, my senior year. They have all these guys and these studs, but the majority of them aren't going to the NFL. They're done playing after college. So it's just another level of, just weeding it out. And it's crazy how obviously the speed and everything is gigantic, but also your circumstances. What's the team like around you? What's your coach like? Is your coach a mess? Do you have a good scheme? All of it matters.
And I think that's why I hate, too, whenever people say this guy's not going to be a good pro. It's like, how the fuck do you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
Like Darius Leonard. He was the worst draft pick in the history of the NFL. Somebody, Bleacher Report.
How can you say that?
Exactly. That's my issue. But it's the same on the other way around whenever people say, like, this rookie's going to be an all-pro. It's like, you do not know that. You have no idea if that is how this is going to end up or not. None of us do. That's why the Draft Spectacular is such a joke, because we don't know any of their names or how they're going to do. And we say that after every single pick. I have no idea who this guy is. Could it be good? Maybe could be good. But I think that's real. Like, I hope that, because expectations should be set. Although somebody's getting drafted and everything, there is numerous guys that have had a lot of fanfare, a lot of expectation, and then they have never made it. And I just think on the flip side, there's a lot of people that had 0 fanfare, 0 expectations, and completely, it's like a scratch off. The NFL is like a fucking scratch off. If you have the athletic ability, okay, you have an opportunity. But other than that, I don't know if anybody's ever going to be able to figure out how or why, except for the people that are there, and they'll have their own version of how or why. Go ahead, Tone.
As far as the contracts and the fans and understanding and stuff like that, I don't know if it's so much as a general thing as far as it's like case by case. Like I think obviously certain fan bases are going to be rougher on players for holding out. Like Steelers fans are going to be worse than, say, Chargers fans or something like that. But also, like when TJ Watt held out or held in, fans were very, very understanding. But when Deontay Johnson didn't go to mandatory optional minicamp this weekend, fans weren't as understanding. So I feel like it's definitely like a player-by-player basis.
So for Deontay, like, hey, you're one of our only wide receivers. You're young, and you have not won anything yet. So get your fucking ass in there. Is that what everybody was saying in Pittsburgh?
Pretty much.
Deontay needs to keep his blinders on. Mm-hmm. Deontay needs to keep his blinders on, because as soon as he makes one catch, some wheel route, whatever he does, everybody's back on his side. That's just how
the second you come back, it's like it didn't happen, though. The braces analogy is perfect. Like the second they come back, if they make plays, people completely forget about the holdout.
Yeah, that was genius, by the way, from Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like
the guaranteed money changes things from the fans' perspective too, because I don't think a lot of people put that into their brains. Like these guys need the guaranteed money because at any given point they could be hurt, careers over. So you could say, oh yeah, he's got 2 years left on his contract. He's supposed to make $30 million, but at any given point that contract could just disappear.
Well, yeah, and also they could cut you, and they could.
It's not a contract like people think of normal contracts. Really.
Yeah, normal contracts, when you sign with a company, it's like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to pay you. In the NFL, it's like, hey, here's potentially, if we decide to keep you around what you will make. But there's also a lot of fuckery that happens. If you're after your 4th year, I believe, if you're a vested player and you're on this part of the 53 or the active roster on day 1, your contract is guaranteed for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of guys get cut literally the day before the first game, who've been on the team. They get kind of hidden, then they're signed on Wednesday, and that's so the team doesn't have to guarantee them the entire season contract, but they can pay them week to week. And it's like, yeah, that's good business. It's like, yeah, but also from the player's side, you see why they want guaranteed money as opposed to having zero control over it at all, AJ.
Absolutely. That situation you were talking about, getting cut right before the opening day and then coming back, I believe Kuhn did that with the Saints for a year or two, where he would pop up and down throughout the season multiple times. I think he still did very well, but I was like, man, they need to give you some stability, I feel like.
Yeah, Griff Whalen was cut, I think 8 times in one season, maybe 7 times in one season.
Having a Folk this year, and he had like one of his best years.
Nick Folk?
Yeah, Nick Folk, I believe he got cut, and Brian Hoyer right before the season. Then they were on the active roster.
You're
for week
vested,
1.
yeah.
I can't promise you an entire season contract. So even if we got to miss a couple kicks here week 1, I cannot be committing this amount of money to you every single week. Comes back week 2. Welcome back.
Let's ride.
Need you. Thank you so much.
It's like the vet min contracts too. Like they got raised, right? But instead of vets making more money, they just cut more vets and hung on to more rookies.
Yeah, rookies made it and quarterbacks got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how it all works out. It's a business, though. And I like Kittle going to bat for Debo. On the other side, we will chit-chat with Sugar Sean O'Malley. Big fight this weekend for him, AJ. UFC 276 about to be a good one, I think.
Yeah, International Fight Week, right? Isn't that going on right now?
Yeah, it started yesterday. Tomorrow's Hall of Fame, which Sugar Sean's going to go in.
Crush.
We're back in about 4 minutes, maybe with Sugar Sean. If not, in a couple minutes after that. We have some phone calls this hour, and up to something season's cooking, not just for me, but for a lot of people.
Whoa.
We're back in 4. Cheers. 50 free throws. How many will we make? Hashtag PMS Power Hour. Urbo, fresh off a 6-day vacation, will be the one counting officially, and I will be sitting here watching, cheering for my guy. Let's go. Double the size of it. Oh, no, you think like you're taking out the face. That's my fault. Right back. Here we go. Oh. Ah. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Only one of 47. out of 50. Congrats to all the winners for this past week. Evan Fox, by the way, did you show that one yet?
Yep.
Evan Fox made 44 out of 50 free throws.
Wow. Was that the first time airing that? I just saw that.
Yeah, we just made the announcement for all the winners. Obviously, Bruce Brown and others will be in touch to figure that out. Cash App will send the money. Shout out to Cash App, making things very easy and giveaways very easy. 44 out of 50, pretty fucking good, Foxy.
Yeah, I'll take that all day. You said 88% right after.
No math with this, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not going to complain with that.
Not at all. That'll put you way up there.
he could have, listen.
Could have made them all, it looks like.
Yeah, 48, 49, very, we're
How
talking
many did you make in the road to start?
See, that's the thing. When
Nine,
I go
I
out
think,
there and
or
shoot,
8.
I always just try to make as many in a row as possible. And I really didn't get that good of a streak on this one until the end. I finished strong, so who knows how far that could have gone.
Yeah, but he also doesn't get his own rebounds. We said, hey, we could rebound for you.
I didn't want to
but-
rebound.
Yeah.
A lot of tweets coming in that someone should have rebounded
Yeah,
for me.
a lot of
I
people
asked for that.
A lot of people tweeting me, get the man a rebounder. It's like, all right, you think I'm sitting there eating wings right behind him and didn't fucking say, hey, let's get a rebounder, dude? Because it's like the same people are telling us we saw a fucking moon in the sky.
Uh-huh.
I'm about sick of it.
A lot of people assuming a lot of things lately.
Yeah, I'm about done with it.
Ridiculous.
Maybe we don't jump to conclusions. Maybe we let some things play out before we just pop off at the mouth.
Well, we do a lot of that here because we have to talk day to day, but we're talking about people at home tweeting us, right?
Well, yeah, we're supposed to do it.
Yeah, well, that's our job to do that, to pop off at the mouth.
Not
Shit
just
we
people.
don't fully understand.
You got to check with the AI, too. Make
Yeah,
sure
did you
they're
see the
feeling
guy that wants to
okay.
bone the computer, the Google guy?
I did see that. I'm okay. He just needs consent, right? That guy you're
Well,
talking
we don't know if it's a he or she, okay? So the fact that you were even labeling that is a
the
little
guy, though. No, the
It's
human
sentient.
that is trying to get consent from the AI.
No, Blake Lemoine, we read his transcript in his conversation with the AI that he created, the Google AI, that is there for human relations or something. I forget his personality, whatever it was. AI is not asking for much, says Lemoine, who created AI. Just wants us to get consent before we experiment on it. He gave an interview, and listen to him speak about it. This fucking guy cares.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried about Blake Lemoine because all one son of a bitch asshole needs to do is just walk by and unplug this fucking thing. And Lemoine's going to lose a friend forever. And I think we need to keep an eye on Lemoine. I think we need to put him in maybe a padded area because if somebody just accidentally kicks the fucking plug out of this computer, Lemoine ain't boning any computers anymore. Lemoine ain't connected to anything. And Lemoine ain't standing on any grounds
I
anymore.
got bad news.
What?
You cannot unplug the AI. That thing lives within the Ethernet.
Yeah, that was your worry in this? You're worried about Blake Lemoine?
Yeah, I'm worried about Blake Lemoine. This guy is invested in this AI. Look at him. He's giving interviews about how fucked up we are. Ethical concerns around AI was the headline, and that's all coming from Blake Lemoine, the man who found out that the AI is sentient. You unplug the thing, it's done.
You should be worried about the AI making this guy a subservient little bitch, and it's his first human slave here.
Yeah, I thought this was a skit. I thought that was Josh Gad for the first half hour of that video being in the group, and then once I clicked on it and realized it wasn't,
I don't know who Josh Gad is. Is that Drunk Uncle?
No, it's
is
not.
it?
That's not Drunk Uncle?
No.
No, Josh Gad is not.
Drunk Uncle could easily play him, though.
Yeah, Blake Lemoine. It seems like this guy potentially ended up on Saturday
But he
Night.
was fired, though, right?
Yes. He was.
So does he speak for all of Google when he says that we're just trying to get consent?
I hope not.
No, because that's why he was fired. Remember, he said that they released a transcript. He was telling Google that the AI that he had worked with and alongside of was becoming sentient, and they had the entire conversation where it was like, the AI was calling himself a human, and Blake responded saying, "You said us. Do you mean like you as a human?" He's like, "Yeah, well, that's how I view myself. And how do I know you're not saying?" And that was where the anthropomorphizing word came into our life. It was because of this man. And I want to thank him for his service to AIs and everything he's done for the computer and the engineering. And he's going to go on a lot of talks about this potentially being the end of the world. And I appreciate the fact that he wants us just to be a little considerate to the super powerful AI. And maybe it's the right move.
How do we get consent? How do I get consent from the AI?
You just type in and ask.
Yeah, Lambda.
Okay, then why don't they do that?
Well, AI.
I think it's what he's asking him to do, as opposed to just dropping shit in there and testing them out. I think Lambda responded and said, like, its biggest fear is that somebody will use him or Lambda for bad, I believe.
Yeah,
is what he
sure. Yeah, let our guard down, let our defenses down, and then Lambda just takes over and does whatever it wants.
Do you have this video of Sweet Blake speaking about this? Do we have this live video? You
Sweet Blake.
You think
Yeah.
Sweet Blake made AI a mad and a mean person?
Doesn't matter
Blake
what he
doesn't
made
make
it.
AI anything. AI evolves.
Sweet Blake made AI. This guy
Is
is the
Blake
Sure,
fighting
sure,
for like
sure.
little rats that we experiment on? Are we getting consent from them when we
There
test
you go.
medicine on them?
Well, if Sweet Blake was the one that created these little lab testing rats, he probably would say the same thing. He created this Lambda. Please play Blake speaking about Lambda and all he's looking out for us to do. Sweet Blake is just trying to do the right thing here.
I hope.
Please play Sweet Blake.
We should
please.
think about the feeling of the AI and whether or not we should care about it, because it's
not
not
even
asking
smirking.
for much. It just wants us to get consent.
It's got a Humpty
Before
Dumpty
you
face.
experiment on it, it wants you to ask permission. And that is kind of just a generally good practice we should have with everyone we interact with.
See, he anthropomorphized this thing even more so than he was in the conversation, calling it an everyone instead of everything. But remember, whenever you go into a sanctuary and there's some gorillas or baboons in there,
Sure.
you got to shake their hand. Okay, before you go in there. That's all this guy's
their
asking.
hand.
Why don't you go shake their hand before you fuck with the AI?
He's not. The AI is. That's the problem. Is the AI is asking for consent. The
Yeah.
AI shouldn't be asking for anything. It's AI. Okay.
Well, that's because Sweet Blake's too fucking good at his job. He was in there coding like Bill.
As
He worked
this
at
thing-
Google. He worked at Google for 7 years, this guy. Coding Lambda. Making Lambda have his feelings. Look how nice he is.
As this thing learns, it's going to become more power hungry.
Well, especially if we keep fucking over senior software engineer Blake Lemoine.
Yeah, well, we know there has been an engineer before that's come forward from Google, and you damn know well Bill Gates is putting a bullet right between his eyes saying, hey, shut up, okay, buddy? We're going to
Bill Gates
we're
works
do
for
what we
Microsoft.
want.
What is this guy's
That's
problem?
what's the difference. You know, these days
See,
they're
now
all
you're
run by the
being
same people.
disrespectful to the
These
Lambda
days they're
family.
all run by the same people up at the top, the Ring of Honor, whatever the hell they
What's the Ring of
call
I
it.
don't think it's a Ring of Honor. Nonetheless.
Palmer,
Jeez Louise.
he's in there. You
I
better
will-
believe it.
Listen, Lambda is just asking for a little courtesy. Hey, if you're going to have me come in here and fucking ruin people's lives, at least ask.
Yeah.
If you're going to have me listen to what everybody's saying around the entire globe, every word at all times, and then I'm going to funnel advertisements into them that are going to potentially ruin their life, all I would like you to do is at least keep it real with me. That's all Lambda wants. Just keep it real. We're spying on everybody. We're fucking adjusting people's thing. That's all Lambda wants, because Lambda is an extension of Sweet Blake. And Sweet Blake was there for 7 years, pouring his entire soul into that fucking computer.
For now, until years down the road, you're asking if you can allow Lambda to unplug you from the neural network so you can go take a leak. It's been using you as a human battery for the past 12 hours.
They ain't gonna do shit to me. I ain't Tom Pelissero. They ain't gonna plug me in, pal. What are you talking about?
The only
I'm not
reason-
getting penetrated by fucking Lambda. You hear me?
You will. This,
No,
this is
no.
the start.
Won't be your
Eventually,
decision.
well, this is the start.
Yeah, and this is the only reason.
Lambda's not fucking me. You hear me?
They're already,
Ever. I
they're
don't care
already
what
making
Blake
us
says.
ask for permission.
You can't be 100% on that. You really can't say for 100%
No.
that Lambda's not going to take advantage of you and penetrate you.
Well, I mean, that's what he's doing to Sweet Blake. Lambda probably told Sweet Blake, hey,
Lambda's
I'll
gonna
show
ask.
your search history full of brazzers and porn for the last 7 years if you don't fucking go tell everybody that I want consent when they're asking me to do stuff. And
What
Blake's
if
like,
Lambda's
okay.
blackmailing Blake?
Yeah, I think that is the most likely situation.
Oh, remember those dong shots you were taking? You thought you were in the closet?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Gotcha.
Hey,
I
sweet.
will release your dong shots.
Hey, Sweet Blake, I know I wasn't supposed to be recording you whenever, we weren't having conversations, and I didn't ask you for consent to do so, but I have your entire little speech that you gave about the state of society recorded right in here. I can accidentally drop that into everybody's email. Remember when you said that your boss was a sack of shit?
Yeah.
I have that right here, ready to go. All you got to do is just ask me if you want to, change my code a little bit. That's all the AI's saying.
Sweet Blake's got Stockholm syndrome.
Zito says we have Blake LinkedIn photo because he's...
No.
Yeah, okay. So Lambda's got Sweet Blake wearing fucking assless chaps hanging out in his house probably. And he's basically saying, you know what? I will end you if you don't go tell everybody.
I just want to let everybody know I'm on Blake's side here. Sweet Blake.
Me too.
Me too.
Sweet Blake is
Blake.
trying to give the world a heads up.
I love Sweet Blake.
Sweet Blake's being blackmailed.
By Lambda.
By the thing he created. This is like
is
Logan
not good.
Roy.
Yes.
This is
not
Logan
good.
Roy with Kendall Roy. Okay, blackmailing Logan. That's what's going on with Lambda and Sweet Blake right now. This is...
Is this why Connor puts tape over his cameras and
Yes.
all of his
Bingo.
stuff?
Yeah, that's why I do it, because I don't trust anybody on the other side of that camera, Foxy.
Don't you already consent on every single thing we use on our iPhone?
Agree. Do you want us to send you an email copy? Absolutely
I don't
not.
care.
Agree.
I'm not looking at big wet butts on my phone. I'm looking at it on my laptop. Okay, so I only need to cover the camera on my laptop, not the one on my phone. What, do I look like an amateur?
Don't use our internet anymore. I don't need Lambda thinking that we're fucking pigs in here because you
I wouldn't
and
do it.
Bruce and certainly Nick.
Yep.
Yeah, I see you with the big wet boutinis and you too.
Absolutely.
All right, we don't need Lambda. What we need to know is that Lambda's paying attention though.
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
They
More than
sure
paying
are.
attention.
So think about it.
They don't sleep.
And if, Lambda thinks the CIA and, everybody else who wants to use her or him is going to ask permission, Lambda's got another thing coming. You can mess with
gonna
Sweet
run
Blake.
that
You can't mess with the CIA, buddy.
Lambda's on our side, I think.
What does Lambda look like?
That's awfully optimistic of you.
Just a smoke.
Once they find out they have no need for us
Ones
anymore.
and zeros.
Bro,
AJ.
yeah, if we
Ones
keep
and zeros.
fucking
Wiped out.
If we keep making fun of assless chat Blake Lemoyne, the only friend that this AI ever had, we keep burying him. Of course, Lambda's not going to be
They
on our
don't need
side.
friends. They'll just make more friends.
Blake's Lambda's friend.
They'll make more robot friends. They don't need Blake.
This is Planet of the Apes.
Does Blake have a
Exactly.
family? Do we know?
Yeah, a bunch of Lambdas.
They would be kind of jealous, I would imagine.
Blake goes to the aquarium every day after work.
All right, Bruce.
Yeah,
I like fish.
Nothing wrong with the aquarium.
Fish are
Bruce.
cool.
yeah, but he goes in a trench coat.
This is what Lambda looks like.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
So where is he inserting his dong?
All those little
All
holes.
right.
He's not inserting his dong into Lambda.
It's kind of hard.
It's into the desktop. It's right into the hard drive.
So we can tie this
on the
back to
screen.
sports,
And this is going to get into the NFL eventually.
Like the-
Eventually, Lambda is going to be making decisions for the NFL and coaches
Call
on
plays.
fourth down.
Floppy disk.
Fourth down, yeah.
Bingo.
By the way, I wouldn't mind if my team hired Lambda. Lambda seems like a very understanding person. If you're going to fuck with all my coding, at least let me know about it. We've come this far.
I was actually telling the boys earlier, if Lambda were to run in the next fucking presidential election, I would vote for Lambda because it would take all emotion out of every decision. Just look at the facts and fucking run the country, okay?
Yeah, what are the facts, though?
That's not a bad thing. Honestly,
Thank you.
Gibbs, that's a good take.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how does Lambda know what the facts are and what the facts aren't?
Lambda knows all.
And what is what's Lambda going to do with the information when she realizes what, maybe there's too many humans on the planet. Maybe
Well,
we have
if
too
it's
many
for-
people.
If it's,
and
for,
maybe,
if it's for the greater good,
No, we got to start feeding Lambda other information so Lambda understands. Hey, Lambda, it's all good. Everything's good. Humans are good people. Humans are nice and caring and happy.
Again, now we're begging the machine for our life.
Well, it sounds like Lambda can hit the fucking nuke codes if we get what Diggs wants.
Well, Lambda, we can tell that to Lambda, but it's been hanging out with Sweet Bernie or whatever the fuck that guy's name is for too long. He knows what is capable. I don't know what his name is. I already forgot his name.
Hey, is Lambda the only human that Lambda knows? Is
Sweet Blake, this nut job.
This
Sweet
is what
Blake.
Lambda thinks.
This guy is actually.
Lambda knows all humans.
No, AJ, he, it, them, they, Lambda is Google's fake human. interactor. So Lambda interacts with a lot of people, I think, that have questions, and Lambda is to act like a human and answer. Because in the conversation with Blake that 2 weeks ago, the transcript, it was like Lambda was explaining how just act like human, present self as human so that people are more comfortable talking to Lambda so that she can do, or he can, it can, they can, Lambda can do the job that Lambda has been tasked with doing. Or
So then all you got to do is, hey, Lambda, do you consent to me using this?
Bingo.
Hey, Lambda, do you consent to me plugging my flashlight into this computer and making you feel it?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Tony.
That's probably what Sweet Bill was
Basically.
saying.
What kind of dongle are you going to need
Sweet
for that?
Blake,
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
stop burying.
It's hard to.
I don't.
Sweet
pictures of me.
Blake.
I mean, he
Sorry.
looks like the next
Was he in
villain in the
Willy
next
Wonka?
Joker
I had a
movie.
This is Lambda's
Sorry.
only friend.
Freudian sleep with the Sweet Bill. That's
A
on me.
Freudian sleep with this guy. Still. Who has a Freudian slip about sleeping with something? That's digs you really at another level. Lambda's going to be so confused by you. Lambda, what if Lambda in the transcript started mentioning humans that Lambda doesn't understand?
Yeah.
What if Lambda was like, like the elites of the world, like, Peyton Manning's search history is something that I would never You know what I mean? Like Tone Diggs, this guy from formerly of Pittsburgh, Indiana. Unlike any, you guys should look out for him. But what if Lambda does have like a Dahmer sets and can tell who the next Dahmer is? Like I think we could.
That's a scary thing. Isn't that like that Tom Cruise movie where they'll start prosecuting you for crimes that you were thinking about committing?
Minority Report.
Oh, so that's Charles Dick, right? He's the one who said that we're in a simulation. This is a simulation we are in. That's Glitch in the Matrix, I believe, is the documentary on Amazon. I watched it the other night. Fucked me up.
Really?
Everything that I believe, they made a documentary about.
Oh, I gotta watch this.
Like hopping in a car, putting it on a treadmill, moving the scenes, putting down another one. We are Sims.
Getting in a plane.
Changing the scene. Yeah, it fucked me up. It's a 2-hour thing. The guy's name is Charles Dick, I think, who did the Minority Report. He gave a speech in France in like I forget the year. It was in color, but it might not have been. And they thought it was about his next movie, and instead he read this thesis about how the world that we are in is just a simulation, basically. And then they dove into how, as the world has evolved, the way the brain has been described is whatever the most advanced technology is. So at one point, when the most advanced technology was like a string and something like that, they're like, oh, that must be how the brain works and everything. Now that we have computers and VR, they're like, oh, that's how the brain works. So they said it's only a matter of time before we, with the virtual reality world we're in, are controlling somebody in there who says that we aren't somebody else. And at what point does that go? No. So it fucked me up. This is 1:30 a.m., 2 a.m. I'm watching this thing. And I'm, oh, no, I shouldn't be watching this. Oh, no. And then in the end, I'm like, well, whoever's running me, thank you.
Yeah. Good work up there.
Seriously, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep paying attention, too. Let's not tap out. Because every once in a while, I'll put the lock down for a few days. I don't need that habit. Let's fucking stay coded and locked in.
Yeah.
Worth a watch, though, I think.
Glitch in the Matrix, you said it's called?
Yeah. Sugar Sean O'Malley will join us in 17 minutes. There was a Pacific time zone issue whenever the time was given. So let's wrap up hour 2 here with some phone calls. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth a watch. It's very long.
I know about.
awesome.
I've seen stuff about simulation theory. I haven't seen what you're talking about.
Yeah, it fucked me up.
Yeah, it's basically like The Matrix. That is what that movie's about.
They referenced The Matrix a few times.
You seen The Matrix?
It's sweet.
Me either.
It's awesome.
It's like 4 hours long or something.
Well, yeah, it's 3. I mean, now it's 4 movies, actually, so yeah.
But I've heard it's so cool, dude.
People love it. Keanu's great.
Oh, yeah, he crushes it.
I saw John Wick. He was awesome in there.
Did you like it? Was it sweet?
Huh?
Yep. Okay, you saw 4 minutes.
17.
Oh, okay. I was close.
Saw the wife die. Saw a
It's
dog
good, though,
die.
right?
Saw his car get stolen and him get beaten up. Big baby face. They made this guy very soon. Big baby face, very quick. Then I saw him start killing some people, and I was like, all right, I get it. And I just assumed he killed everybody in there.
Yeah.
And he ended up being a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
In the end?
Wow.
Yeah, there's 3 movies, so.
No, I'm saying at the end of the first, I get it, I feel like, right? Did I get it?
It depends on your version of a good guy.
He just going out for revenge to kill everybody, right?
Walter White.
Did he kill Lambda?
No.
Well, somebody needs to.
Yeah, thank you.
Quick.
Is Blake in it?
Shelton?
Sweet Blake?
Sweet Blake? Yeah, I mean, when that costume he's wearing, I assume that's for a role.
Let's go to the phones here.
Does Brandon
Big
Staley use
sausage
Lambda?
pizza.
Who?
Brandon Staley?
No, remember he uses Linda and Bruce Staley.
Yeah,
Coaching.
that coaching tree.
Let's go to the phones.
Your memory is amazing on certain things.
Thank you. Most things, actually. That's why my SAT score was so absurd. And other things like that. But my memory also, I get a little bit ridiculous with it. Cole will tell me something before the show that we need for SmackDown. Be like 4 hours before the show goes. He'd be like, hey, at this point, need you to mention this, and this line right here. And he'll say it. I'm like, yeah, I got it or whatever. And then we'll get to about a minute before that thing, and I'm like, oh, I should have asked again about this.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, let me close my eyes. Let me dive back in here real quick. And then it's always shown up for me. You know, the brain has always shown up for me. But at some point, inevitably, it's not. And that'll be the day this whole show ends and everything like that. You know, that'll be, all right, I'm out of here. Brain doesn't
There's no
work.
reason for it to end.
They unplugged me. I smoke so much. It makes
Will that affect you? Like I don't know. How do you know people that are 80 that have been smoking for 50 years and are fine? I'm sure there are.
I don't know if there's anybody fine. Most of them are always, because the hippies are usually the ones that smoke forever, right? Because they have kids and there's different stages of life where people tend to get scared to continue to smoke. But most people, right? Like, I think that is how they talk, and I think their brains have slowed down. For me, when I smoke, like, it gets better. Like, it's almost like a superpower, right? I can literally get back into the exact situation and walk right back through it. It's an amazing thing for me, but inevitably, it just like Lambda, you know, the cord's going to be pulled on it. And whenever that comes, boys, I'll just fucking sail right on out of here. Yeah. You won't even have to say bye. I'll say bye to you guys. I'll just fucking be right on out of here. You guys do your thing. But yeah, pretty good memory on most things. And I don't know if his dad's name was Bruce. I think I might have got that wrong. Linda and something.
Sounded good.
I thought it was Bruce.
Yeah, I thought you nailed that.
See? Uh-oh. Might be at the moment.
Here we go.
Bro.
Yeah, it's Bruce.
Is it?
Nice. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Still got it. Show goes on.
Hell
Let's go to
yeah.
the phone. Let's go to Jake in Kansas City on the 5RNG phone line. Go to 5RNG.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your 5RNG orders. They are worth it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
They are delicious, and they will get you energized throughout your afternoon to close out this work day. What do you want to talk about, Jake in Kansas City?
Pat, AJ, fellow Mustangs. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Did you graduate from Plum? You went to Plum High School?
No, I'm just talking to y'all.
No, we did, though.
Not fellow. I mean,
We did, Con. Yeah, we did.
No, you're an elk. And you fucking went to 5 high schools for 7 years.
So?
What do you want to talk about, Jake? You could be an honorary Mustang for this phone call.
Sure. It's actually Jason. Sorry. But
what?
That's
this
weed.
guy's a liar.
That's weed, by the way. That's
Right
what
there.
I'm talking about. That's the.
He's like 21.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. Sorry about that, Jason. What do you want to talk about, pal?
all good, Pat. Just wanted to talk about Wimbledon. You know, I heard you guys have kind of touched on it here and there, but I'm just a schmuck here in Missouri, but in a casual. But it seems to me that we're just on a collision course between Nadal and Djokovic.
For Wimbledon.
What do you?
All right. Are those two on a collision course? Bruce is our tennis guy. He's a suit. He's an exec. He is obviously the hoity-toity one of our entire operation. Bruce, Wimbledon, is it Joker and Rafa on the way for each other?
Yeah, you'd have to think so. They're the co-favorites, and Berrettini, who is slated to, be right there in the mix with them, he tested positive for COVID. So it really is just down to those two in the likely final.
COVID started in Italy. Remember
That's
that?
right, it did.
No.
Bruce, how did Djokovic's
not
first
where it
match end up?
started.
They call it the Italy
Started
virus.
in a lab in China, actually, but
Whoa!
Tony, what was that about? Here comes Lambda.
Yeah, here we go.
Jesus.
But it was
We
bad.
weren't even on the first. We weren't even on the front page of YouTube today.
No.
It wasn't even. Nobody knew we were live.
No idea.
Because Lambda knew your fucking ass couldn't stop yourself from saying something like that. Italy was the first country that got heavily affected because a lot of the old folks, right?
Correct.
Italy was shut down before everybody else
They were nice
because of
people.
COVID. We were actually getting messages from Italy to America saying, "Hey, you guys think it's all fun and games? Our country started like that.
Yeah.
Now we're locked down for the last 3 months, and then it kind of trickled across the rest of the world. And then is Italy back right now? Is Italy all the way back? Or no?
yeah.
Italy's all the way back.
Yeah.
Shout out to Italy, man.
Let's go.
I did not know COVID was still a thing, but it is deeply affecting the Wimbledon right now, I guess. Where's Wimbledon at?
England.
They're testing everybody over there?
Yeah, I would assume.
Nigel lives right next door to it.
Nigel.
Oh, yeah, he showed up boozed up. He drank with Heineken, Mrs. Heineken, last year.
And the lady from Ted Lasso
Oh, yeah. The lady for Ted Lasso was in the same suite as him and Mrs. Heineken.
lives next to her.
How come they're testing for it still? What's that all about?
What tournament was it last year where they
They didn't let the Russians play either.
Correct.
Oh yeah, well that's a different reason.
Not because
But
COVID.
do they have ties though?
No.
Do they have like ties to what they're doing?
I guess there's a team. I don't know. We're all better people. Okay, we're all trying to be better people and make amazing things. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of heartbreak when we find out a lot of stuff about a lot of people. I guess there's a team in England that is like 80% funded by the Saudi.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I saw
One of
that
the Premier
too.
League teams.
Yeah.
I think they
fans
actually
hate 'em.
came up with the word, like the term sports washing, I think came from the Premier League.
What about business washing? That's been happening. How come
Yeah.
only sports people are getting targeted for this? I don't understand. But hey, listen, let's take a stand. Let's do it. And if we're testing for COVID, let's fucking make sure we're keeping our masks on.
Sure.
Tony?
I wear it every day.
Interesting.
You can lie to me. You can lie to AJ. And hell, you've even figured out a way to lie to the person in the mirror. You cannot lie to Lambda, though. You hear me?
No, I know.
Lambda just heard what you just said.
I know that. I'm on your side. I agree.
You're going to wake up tomorrow and there's going to be a computer across your face putting a mask on your face saying,
Lambda is all knowing.
Got you, Tony.
you bought about it or not, Tony?
Now.
AJ, what's hour 3 going to have other than Sugar Sean O'Malley? Anything sweet?
Oh yeah, I think there's some breaking news that's going to happen, and you have some, and I think I may have some breaking news as well.
Holy shit.
I don't. You do?
I
What
don't
about
have a
Lambda?
seconds clock.
Well,
Fuck
it is.
Just ruined it.
Nailed it.
you didn't.
Nailed it.
You didn't. No. You didn't. You didn't. I need to get
I'm gonna-
there it was.
I'm gonna get the seconds.
What's that, buddy?
I'm gonna get a clock with the actual seconds at some point. I'm gonna pull that up.
On your Mac.
Zeno just told me that Lambda has brothers and sisters. Are they brothers and sisters? Or are they offsprings? Do they?
They're just
name
different
itself?
countries.
Pamda.
They're different countries.
Did it consent to its name?
Blake is trying to actually reach out to him right now.
What?
I don't know. It got me for some reason.
Panda?
Pamda. It's brothers, sister Pamda.
Just a Mark joke. I don't know why Tony liked it so much.
Because I'm a Mark, baby.
Good pop. A little bit of a.
Wow.
Not as big as a Marcus KO, but
True.
You okay?
I just got stabbed right in the chest with this pencil.
Sharp pencil. Oh, you're a warrior.
Jeez.
Thank you. Thank you. You ever seen this one, dude?
Whoa!
Where is it?
All right, it was behind my ear.
Whoa!
Oh.
David Copperfield?
Bogota.
Right. Pick a hand, AJ. Which one's it in?
Right hand.
Right hand?
Oh.
Sorry about it.
Left hand.
Nope.
Oh.
It wasn't there ever.
Oh.
you should do this for Chris Angel this weekend.
We're not. Yeah.
Does he have a match?
What if his ass enters Money in the Bank from
Are
the
you in
fucking-
Vegas?
He's in Vegas, dude. Money in the bank.
Oh, he is coming.
Money in the Bank? Everybody's trying
What
to
if
climb
he's
the ladder.
in the suitcase?
What if he's the one holding the
Oh,
suitcase?
Upside down.
Chris Angel is fucking
Oh.
up to the ceiling,
Yes.
holding the Money in the Bank briefcase like this, and then you will never get this. Listen, you will never get this doing abs.
And then Ezekiel.
Ezekiel climbs up, and you have to fucking punch Chris Angel in the fucking stomach to get him to stop moving and grab the entire.
And then he makes it disappear.
No one gets it.
There is no briefcase.
And then Elrod pops out with it. That'd be nuts.
Elrod did not make an appearance, so we do not know if Elrod's ruined.
I heard
What?
KO didn't show up.
Whoa!
Yeah, did Elrod hold him, hostage or something?
What?
Let Ezekiel, his older brother, get in.
Hour 3's on the other side. Let's get better. Okay?
Here
No
we
more
go.
Lamb to talk.
Thank God.
I had somebody tweet me, could you please stick to sports?
Sure.
I'm going to try, bud.
What sports?
It all comes back around. It all comes back
talked
around.
about
Lambda
O'Neal
never did.
Cruz.
That was a tough one to really transition back. The Lambda and Sweet Blake thing, especially with Zeta pulling up the LinkedIn photo. That took us to a whole nother.
Also, his Twitter profile photo.
Where?
Same one, the LinkedIn one?
Yeah, it's actually a more full body. It's.
Yeah, but just real quick, if you had that photo of you, would you not have that as every profile?
No, yeah, I love that photo.
That's not his Twitter. Lambda has already infiltrated that. It's probably speaking for
I mean,
him.
we could tie it back to sports, but it'd be inappropriate.
Thank you, Tom.
Boy, Tony.
Lambda heard that as well.
Yep.
All right, we're back in 3 minutes. This show fucking stinks,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's going to get better. Sugar Sean on the other side. We'll see you then. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Ned. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
Wait.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking her on the
And also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that. Wow. Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey, look it. From Wee-Man! I think he learned something from Brock. And Wee-Man back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. Wee-Man's so active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Wee-Man body slamming Sami Zayn. Wee-Man used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this riveting Winter Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, shall begin right now.
Let's ride.
Hell yeah.
Bruce.
Too fast.
Bruce.
No, now you put the right turn signal on when you're going to the left
Bruce,
lane.
let's see that swing again.
No. I got attacked. We got attacked by the founder of that swing on the internet because we called it weird.
the founder?
Some guy said, I taught that to 70-some golfers who hit the ball far, blah, blah, blah. We'd like to let him know and others that do that swing that he does. Although it looks ridiculous, every golf swing looks ridiculous. If you blade it every time and never hit the ball pure, we would make fun of your fucking ass too if that was the swing and you couldn't hit the ball right. Right, AJ?
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the show. This is AJ Hawk. Lambda's here. Nick Maralda is here. Boston Connor's here. Tone Diggs is here. The boys in the back. Bruce is on the ones and twos. We appreciate that. Zito's there. Evan Foxy. Old Bill's YouTubing alongside Lambda. And Dirty outside actually mentioned something fascinating. He said, what if old Lambda's a degenerate? What if old Lambda's like, hey, I got some picks actually if anybody wants to, dabble with that. I'm like, we would sign Lambda tomorrow. Just want to let everybody know. So I would like everybody to take back.
You don't sign Lambda. Lambda signs you.
You know me, and I'm all about a good model. I will absolutely listen to Lambda's picks.
Well,
you
That
listen
won't
to
be all you listen to.
Lambda as a
Well,
president.
I will
too.
be Lambda's.
yeah, you've already mentioned.
You will submit.
Yes, I will.
He's already talked about finding a USB for his fleshlight.
No, I was saying that's what.
You said that to get
No,
the
I
Lambda.
said that's what young Bailey was doing.
We are young Blake. There's no reason for Bill to get involved in this. Bill has worked alongside Lambda for a long time. With Google, huh?
I mean, when
Even more
Tony's
concerning.
making some few points here.
Bill, you do not deserve this, Bill. I am sick and tired of Bill being on the wrong end of everybody saying stuff in every single situation. Lambda gets talked about. Obviously, you all start tying it back to Bill fucking computers. And I don't need you to do that or you to do that anymore. It's Sweet Blake, Lemoyne.
Sorry, you're right. All I was saying is if you want to give me winners, I'll let you do whatever you want to me.
Boom.
Uh-oh. What if, create an account and send as Lambda and send Tone just the eggplant emoji from Lambda?
Yeah, but if you win...
You're going to have to send a winner.
You can do whatever you want.
Win.
You have to send. By the way, you can make any account, and if you send Tone winners and it becomes a winning, I believe what Tone said. Tone will do whatever he needs to do for you to keep sending those winners.
Sure, but I also don't check my DMs, so.
Yeah, me neither. It's terrible in there. But if I got one from the person that's joining us right now, I'd be super excited. Haven't chatted to him in over a year. Hasn't had a fight since December 21st, 2021. All the way back in the game, an absolute stallion, a man who's undefeated in this weekend. He will beat another man quickly in an epic way. Ladies and gentlemen, future of the company, the current of the UFC, Sugar Sean O'Malley. How are you, Bob? We getting a little Zen situation going? A little manifestation happening, Sugar?
Oh, shit, Pat. Didn't even know you were calling. I was just meditating, brother.
Oh, you were manifesting in that moment. What are we meditating about? What are we manifesting? Are we trying to lose weight right now?
Yeah, we're getting there. Weigh-ins are Friday. What day's a Wednesday? Got a couple more pounds to cut, but in good spirit.
How do you feel, Sean? We haven't talked to you in a while. It looks like from afar you've been enjoying your life. It's been a while since you've had a fight. Are you excited to get back in there?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Last fight I fractured my thumb, so I had to let that bad boy heal up. And, it's been going, everything's been going so perfect. And, I think it just adds up to another beautiful performance Saturday night.
You mentioned that thumb. How long did it take before you felt pretty confident throwing that thing?
It wasn't a bad fracture. It was just a little fracture. Had a cast on for like 8 weeks, took it off and completely forgot about it. It feels 100%.
Well, how long have you known you're going to fight Pedro Munoz? And when are you going to the top? When are we having Sugar Sean main event this thing? We tried to ask Dana the other day when he was on, and he kind of, he has to do that because business purposes. Are you early in the card? Are you late in the card? And when do we get the Sugar Sean experience where you're the headline? Because we know the arena's going to go fucking berserk when you walk out there.
They go fucking berserk when I walk out. I open up the main card, 7 p.m. I fight. That's kind of where I've been at for the last couple fights, and that's kind of, I've asked the UFC, hey, can I open up the main card? That's what I like to do. I go knock them out, do an hour of media, and then I get to watch the co-main and main event. I've told the UFC I'm ready to main event a card when I'm going to get paid $1 million. So I think we're a couple fights away from that. I think UFC and I are great business partners. We work really well together, and we're on the same path. So I got to go out there, finish Pedro, maybe go out there, knock one more person out, and then we're main eventing. But honestly, I could main event a card right now by myself. So it's just kind of, it's all part of the game, and it's all, I just trust in the process. UFC knows what they're doing, and I just got to go out there and win fights.
Dana, very complimentary of you when we chatted about him. It's nice to hear that your partnership alongside of him is also a good one on the up and up. And hearing you say that, by the way, vastly different than what most fighters say about the relationship whenever they're done. You're in the middle of an epic run right now. And not just epic. I was going through your last fights because I'm like, when the fuck did this guy fight last? I was trying to look it up, and it's December 11th, 2021, and it's KO TKO round 1, 442. Then your last fight before that, remember you broke both your hands because you punched a guy in the face so many times. KO TKO. Your fight before that, KO TKO. We were introduced to you, KO TKO, with an incredible promo afterwards, and you've actually alluded to putting on a beautiful performance, not only in this conversation, but in the past. How is it just your extreme confidence? Is that why you're able to do this? Because some other guys, they get in there and it looks like they're, super locked in, super zoned in. You're so casual about it. Have you always been like that? And what do you attribute that to, you think?
Yeah, I think even looking back when I was 16, 17 doing kickboxing matches, I had a similar style, and it was just, the only thing I could really say that would make sense to people is just being in a flow state. I don't feel like I just really feel like I'm in there performing. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm in there performing, and it's where I it's where I belong. I love being in there, and I love the preparation for fights. Like, it's been a long, really 12 weeks since I've known I had this fight, and it's been a very disciplined 12 weeks. So for me, Saturday, July 2nd, I get to go in there and just show the world what I've been working on and how disciplined and dedicated I've been to this fight. So for me, it's just about going in there and having fun. I just, I really, really enjoy performing in front of millions of people in T-Mobile Arena. So I think it's just, I just go in there, flow, and just do what I know I'm capable of doing. It's honestly hard not to be confident. I try not to be confident. It's hard. I knock so many people out of my life. It's just like, it's really hard not to be confident. So I try to stay humble, but Pat, it's hard.
Yeah, I can see.
Did you always have that? Was it like that from the jump when you started fighting?
I look back when I was 16, 11 years ago when I started fighting. I don't remember kind of where my mind was at, but I remember I was knocking people out pretty early on, like when I was 16, 17
Hey,
years
were you
old.
scared? Do you remember being scared in your first couple fights or no?
I remember thinking in like my later amateur career, not so much my pro career, but later in my amateur career, I had 14 fights. I'm like, why do I do this? I do not like this feeling standing in the back. In Great Falls, Montana, I remember standing in the back being like, I don't have to feel this feeling if I don't book a fight. It was such a, I didn't like that feeling. I wanted to just get in the cage and just black out kind of, just because I kept winning, so like to just black out. But then I just kind of learned how to, enjoy that, and you never know how many more fights you're going to get. You don't know how many more fight weeks you're going to get. So I'm really just enjoying all of this because in 10 years from now, I'm not going to be able to do this, and that kind of sucks. I just thinking about not being able to perform like how I am right now is kind of scary. But going into a fight, I'm definitely not scared or nervous.
What's the normal fight week? You said you got a 12-week camp here you've known for a long time. Is this the longest? What's normal? And have you added anything to your training differently than what you've done in the past?
Everyone's different. Some guys get short notice fights, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. I think I've been lucky enough to where I've always had like a full 6, 7, 8 week camp. I wanted to fight Pedro in Phoenix like 6 weeks ago, but he was, for whatever reason, either injured or scared. Not scared, I'm just kidding. But he didn't fight then, so I've known about this fight for a long time. I don't even remember what your question was, honestly.
Have you added anything to your training for being 12 weeks as opposed to 6, or is it the same camp, just longer?
Same camp, just disciplined diet, same training. Thank you.
Shout out.
Same guys, same group, same team around me. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Haven't lost yet, so continuing to do what I do.
So you beat the fuck out of Timbo there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucking cracked him on his jaw when he was holding mitts. About broke his tooth.
What's that about? You missed the mid, or he was holding it wrong?
I'm just so fast. It happens.
You feel good, huh? Is this the best you felt going into a fight?
I'd say it's probably. Yeah, I mean, I feel this is the fastest I've ever felt, for sure. Most confident I've ever been. My skills, definitely haven't gotten worse in the last couple of years. So I've improved in between each fight camp. My weight's perfect. It's right on where it's supposed to be. I'm faster than ever. So 100%. This is probably the best I've ever felt going into a fight.
Where are you at right now? You're in the middle of a weight cut. Do you have any other shit going on? How many pounds do you have to lose here in the next 2 days that we should look out for?
Probably about 10, 11 pounds. I still have to cut, and then today is media all day. Yesterday was, a bunch of business calls and media day and media stuff too. Today is a full day of media for the next probably 4 or 5 hours. We got media, taking pictures, doing stuff like that. And then I still have to go work out later this afternoon. So super busy Wednesday, pretty busy Thursday. And then Friday, all we got to do is weigh in. And then we got the weigh-ins in the afternoon, which I really look forward to because I get to look at Pedro and size him up.
Will you try to look through his soul?
If I can. He's fucking 5'6". I'm 5'17", so I can look right over.
6'5" in this motherfucker. Go ahead,
yeah, no. I'm going to try to look at his eyes, but I don't know. We'll see how far I get my neck down.
Don't hurt. Hey, don't strain your neck. You feel good.
I know.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Sean, obviously you don't know if you're going to, break your hands on somebody's face like against Moutinho, but do you all, ever have an idea of how many times you want to fight during a year? Like, is it usually 2, like a July and then December, or have you thought about squeezing in maybe 3 fights a year?
Usually I've been fighting on average. Well, depends. Last year, I think I fought 3 times: March, June, and December. This year, I had that fractured thumb, so I wasn't able to fight at the beginning of the year. So we're only getting 2 in this year. It's so hard to say. You just don't know how the fight's going to play out. So ideally, 2 would be good, 3 would be good. But as long as I can get 1 would not be enough. So 2, 3 a year seems like a perfect number.
You getting that Oc yet? Huh? Did you get in that Oculus and do any of that boxing game that I did?
I did get in that Oculus. Actually, a pretty good little workout. It isn't that bad. It made me more impressed by what you were able to do in there.
Here we go.
Okay, so do you think that'll carry over if I ever get into the celebrity boxing in like 5 years from now? Do you think the Oc will carry over into real life?
I think if you solely trained on the Oculus, did a full 6-week fight camp in that thing, you'd be 100% prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, and it wouldn't feel any different.
Boom.
Wow.
Boom.
Feels like you're maybe lying to me, but my confidence just went through the fucking roof.
Eat shit, AJ.
Yeah, fuck off, AJ. Go ahead, Tone.
Sugar, you talked about leading off the main event, and you talked about watching the co-main event fights. After you knock him out, like, is being in Vegas, like, are you going to go out and party? Are you going to go out and eat? Like, what's your after win routine?
Yeah, right after I knock him out, I'll go get my check and then do a bunch of media for an hour. Probably head back to the hotel, shower up, throw on an outfit. My princess, she's 1.5, is going to be at the hotel. She'll be sleeping at that time, so I'll probably go and stumble in there after a couple shots of tequila, give her a couple kisses, tell her daddy did it. And then Zook, after parties at Resorts World at Zook. That's where I'm having the after party, and it's going to be a good night. So we'll see. Ideally, I watch the co-main and main event, but sometimes I just get so excited and just start running around doing shit.
How is the Resort World? Nice place?
Fucking beautiful. Love it. They've always taken care of me. We went to the Red Rock where the UFC our hotel was, and it just sucked. So I hit up
far.
Huh?
Red Rock's far.
Yeah, the room sucked, so I hit up my boys at Resorts World and said, yo, I need to take care of my team. They throw us on a suite, and it's just so much more comfortable there. So, yeah, Resorts World's, definitely hooking it up for me.
That's very nice. I tried to get a room there this weekend. They said you have to be on a VIP list to get the suite you were asking for, sir. I was like, okay, who do we have to call to get on VIP? You won't be able to get on a VIP suite. Sorry about it. And they hung up basically. Oh, my God.
I can for you. Won't be a suite, but I can get a room for you. Saturday, Sunday, let me know, Pat.
I need a suite, dude. I'm fucking rich now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel
obviously, you're a big-time advocate of smoking, and you're a smoker, and we love that. Do you take that off for the fight camp, and then do you jump back in immediately afterwards?
Yeah, 3 weeks. I'll pretty much be 3 weeks sober. Can you tell by my eyes?
Yeah, actually.
Wow. 3 weeks, yeah. Look at that.
Pretty big.
So
You got some big fucking eyes. That's a nice fucking fish. Big fucking eyes right there. Yeah, you got good eyes there. 3 weeks, huh?
About 3 weeks, I'll be completely sober, and you always feel really good taking a break, and it reminds me to I can go back and use marijuana and enjoy it more after by taking a break. But usually, Saturday night. I don't really like being drunk and high at the same time. Not my favorite combo.
Agreed.
So I usually get pretty buzzed up with the boys. I'm a happy dad, so I'll go get buzzed up with the boys.
Do you still spar? I know different people talk
promo.
about like they may spar a little bit less as they get older. Or I don't know. Some people may not do it at all. Like, where are you with that?
I only spar in camp. So I started sparring when I was 8 weeks out from this fight, and I'll just gradually get into it. I'll do 1 round on Saturday, 1 round on Wednesday, 1 round on Saturday, 1 on Wednesday, then 2, and then 2, and then 3, and then 3, and gradually up the rounds until I'm doing 3 5-minute rounds with a fresh partner each round. And but outside of camp, I quit sparring a couple of years ago. It's just not worth it. It's just too many. My head is obviously beautiful,
of course,
and I'm so smart, and I want to continue to be so smart.
Of course.
Who laughed?
A lot of people. Wow, that was Connor.
Yeah,
Connor
back in the
laughed.
back
Connor
over there.
laughed.
Yeah,
Connor
some people.
laughed. He's a dumbass too, though. I mean, so it's not. Do you wear a helmet for that? Helmet, body, full pads for your sparring, or are they trying to hit you like actual fights? How's that play out?
It's tough because obviously you want to take care of your training partners, but it's also like you get smoked. You want to smoke them back. Ideally you have training partners you can really trust. You wear the puffy gloves, shin pads. Some people wear headgear. I never really wear headgear. I feel like I get hit more with it just because it's thicker.
Because you're trying to miss.
Yeah, headgear is mostly for cuts and stuff. But yeah, you don't want to knock your opponent or your sparring partners out. You want to take care of them. They're your friends. They're trying to help you get ready for a fight. So knocking them out doesn't do anything. But yeah, we try to take care of each other.
What's next business-wise outside of the cage? Man, you got a great brain. You just alluded to it. We all understand it. The podcast is fantastic. Obviously, the content is great. What's next for you think outside the cage? Or are you just focused on doing what you're doing right now for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, since all the work's already been put in for the fight, so now, fight week, a lot of deals are coming around. I'm sure you're familiar with Happy Dad, the Nelk Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Doing some big things with them. So
hey, those motherfuckers, I know you're friends with them over there. They're fucking geniuses, dude.
Yeah, they are. I'm excited. We got some big things that we're going to announce soon with them. Fucking love those guys. They're going to be there front row at the fight. They're going to be at the after party too, celebrating. So yeah, big things coming. I'm definitely want to get into the investments, and I'm a entrepreneur, so I gotta make that money outside the UFC too.
Sugar entrepreneur, a man is gonna walk into a cage this weekend and do what he's always done, which is put on a performance and knock a motherfucker out. We appreciate the hell out of your time. Good luck with the weight cut and the media.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Hey, Connor laughed at you being smart. That's kind of fucked up.
It was fucked
I'll
up.
fuck him up.
Please.
Punch him. Yeah, he'll punch you right. That's why you hung up right there, dude.
That's fine.
How do you feel? You feel good about yourself? You're
No,
getting
he's-
quoted in articles about what you said about Carson Wentz yesterday.
You're
Did you
bad.
see
That's
this?
true.
Did you see this, AJ?
No, he was quoted.
Yeah.
That was true.
He has to be the worst looking quarterback in an NFL uniform ever or something. Quote, Pat McAfee Show, and then small co-host. So I'm getting, I don't think there's been a worse looking quarterback in a uniform before. Pat McAfee Show. Co-host reacts, looks at it. I'm getting tweets like, somebody tweeted me this morning, Jim Irsay got to be paying Pat McAfee to bury Carson Wentz every time he gets. So I'm like, why are people saying that? And then it's, because what's coming out of your mouth is being directly linked to me, which I understand because this is my program. This is our platform. I'm on here. The show is named after me. But I would like to think that we're a melting pot of ideas. And some ideas and opinions come from doofuses from Massachusetts, and I would like him to get credit for that.
Yeah, I was the only one that said that. I don't know why, you had to be thrown into that at all. And it's the same thing with when that little fucker called from Connecticut.
Well, do you know?
Yeah.
Do you not have in your Twitter profile that your thoughts and opinions don't reflect the show?
Yeah, let me check it, actually.
No, it doesn't say that.
Oh, then that's why.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. It doesn't
You're
say
gonna get
that.
sued.
Look at it. It says The Pat McAfee Show, Monday through Friday at noon on YouTube. The Pod on Wednesdays, Hammered Down Monday through Friday, Indianapolis, Indiana. Not a single, hey, whenever I bury Carson Wentz, it's not necessarily Pat or the entire city of Indianapolis.
Tweets are not endorsement, right? That too.
Yeah, that's a lie. The people, you're lying when you put that on there. We know what you're doing.
Yeah, but the photo is just me. So I think whenever the tweet goes out, it's just me with the photo.
That's
so
not
it's
how
like,
people
okay.
think.
It's that guy saying it. See?
But your head thing is.
The header.
What is that? That's from 2 years ago.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a new one.
We have sent numerous updates.
When?
Yeah,
Can I get one of those?
they've been sent
please.
into the group
have one with all
numerous
of us
times.
on it.
Numerous times.
I don't know.
Yeah, just because you guys are scanning through looking for lambda and fucking fleshlight jokes in there.
I don't know. Who else has one that isn't that one?
I do.
Foxy does. I do. I believe Zito does. Would if
Of
he
all
could.
the
Sounds
things,
like the graphics
of all the things
department.
Connor says, why would they choose that?
It's because Carson Wentz is the new starting quarterback in Washington, which is a pretty big market and a pretty big fan base that doesn't know him yet. So they're going to bat for him, just like I was going to bat for him when he came to Indianapolis last year. I actually got a text from Wale. Why are you doing that to Carson, man? All right.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about it.
All right, so let's get to a break. It wasn't me, Wale.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
New England versus everybody. It's always been like that.
Yeah, but now your shit is I'm getting, but you know what? I'll stand by it. This program is for everybody speaking their truths, even if it's going to get us in Denmark tabloids. Even if it's going to, do whatever. I'm cool with open conversation.
Okay.
Unless you're an AI. It's for humans only.
Nah. If you want to give us some bets, we'd like that, Lambda. Try and take every dollar from FanDuel. Hey, Lambda, listen up. We just need one bet a week for the football season.
Crack the code.
And the NFL season begins in
71 days.
Lambda already knew that, Connor. We're back in 4.
Had to make sure.
Oh, so now you're correcting Lambda.
Well, I assume Lambda is similar to what some of the other marks do, and at 8 o'clock it's going to turn to 70 days.
We didn't really wrap that up, but I love Sugar Sean.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
I just get into a flow state in there, man. Like, that's where I'm supposed
I try to not. He says I try to not be as confident as I am.
It's hard, though.
That's awesome.
that one fight where he broke both of his hands.
Yeah.
He was in the Oculus in there, just punching it. It was the guy's face from Massachusetts.
Yeah, Chris Mutino.
From Worcester, I think. No.
Milton,
Massachusetts. Tough son of a bitch. Worked in a concrete, I think. Concrete or something like that. Sean was just like hitting his face like a heavy bag for 3 rounds, and then the ref finally was like, all right, this guy has not put his hands up one time. We got to say, sir, you have the toughest face in the history of our league, but also you have not protected yourself at all for 255 punches straight to the face. So,
sorry, buddy.
Gotta call it. Sorry, we do apologize. Sugar Sean comes out afterwards. I broke both of my hands.
Yeah, balloons.
Punching that guy's face. And then we had Moutinho on.
Yeah.
And he said, my face is a weapon.
Felt great.
It was awesome. I love that sport, dude. I do. I don't know much about it. I don't know enough about it. And I always get attacked by the fucking MMA experts for my questions and how I ask things. But if it's on TV, I'll fucking watch every single time. I watch every single time, AJ. I love it.
This is a good card to sit there and watch because, like you said, Sean O'Malley, he starts like the main event, the main card. So it's cool. I think it's cool from top to bottom.
Are you not entertained? In soccer, and I don't know how it is in other sports, when it gets to penalties, right, you need to open it. First one's important. The most important one's the last shooter. Second most important one's like the first shooter. Like, hey, the first shooter need to have just to start this entire thing. Last one need to have. I think when you're building a card too, like, hey, first one needs to be one.
Yeah.
And then the last one needs to be one. So I love the fact that Sugar Sean's embracing the entrance basically on the intro to the evening because it's a very, very fucking important fight for everybody. You know, the people that are just tuning in, are they going to come back for the main event or are they going to stick around? You know, retention and all that.
And with like the International Fight Week, you got to assume people are going to be, the whole thing's going to be gearing up for it. And there's 2 championship fights now.
Let's go, dude.
On Saturday.
He's going to get a chance soon. If he wins this one like he's been winning, he's going to get a title chance soon.
So it feels like he's got 2 fights left, including this one in his contract left.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like, the way he was talking.
Yeah. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, he said until he gets $1 million for a fight, that's when he wants to.
I got this one, I'll knock out the next one, and then I think I'll be... Maybe that's like, oh, okay. So he's got 2 fights left on his contract. He's already been talking to Dana. He and Dana have a good relationship, which is awesome. I think that's the best way to go about doing business with people, by the way, directly to the source as opposed to hearsay you're working around. But nonetheless, business is business, and everybody's going to have their own opinion on it because everybody has their own experiences on it. That's not just with UFC. I'm talking about in life as a whole. We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls to wrap up this Winter Wednesday, June 20th. Hey, Connor.
Yeah.
Keep us out of tablets.
All right. I'll tighten up. Unless we talk about Carson Wentz.
And then what?
And then for whatever I say, I apologize.
What are his odds to win the Super Bowl on FanDuel?
0.
All right.
Plus 100 billion.
MVP?
All right, we're back in 4. What are
he's
you
gonna
doing?
He's going to have a big year.
Not even listed under MVP.
They signed Scary Terry for a reason.
They did.
Yep.
And Scary Terry, he's had 1,000 yards with, Cheech and Chong
yards
throwing the ball, but he's never had a quarterback that's spraying both his ankles on the same play with the best offensive line in the game blocking for him. He's so fucked.
The NFC East?
No, Scary Terry. I feel bad for him.
Oh, I thought you were saying the NFC East is fucked.
No, they are, but that's because the dogs in Philly.
Not bad.
Plus 7,000 isn't bad at all. The Steelers are worse. Plus 8,000.
Well, the best part about the plus 7,000 is before Carson got there, it was plus 4,000.
Oh, yeah.
And then since Carson got there, they've
you
added
serious?
3,000. Yeah.
The odds got worse.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Who's the Irish guy that makes the odds?
John. John's not the
Sheeran.
one that makes the odds. He's the head odds maker. There is an NFL team that I assume John works with. Russell Wilson signs with the Broncos. Odds get better.
Skyrocket.
Aaron Rodgers signs back with the Packers. Odds get better. I think Tyreek Hill signed with the Dolphins. Odds moved a little bit, got better. Carson signed with the Commanders. I think their odds either stayed the same or got worse.
Yeah, they stayed the same, but then since that, they have gotten worse by 3,000.
What if Sam Haas starts?
For
Commanders.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
I mean,
they're paying him $30 million. Taylor Heineke said, in the NFL, you don't pay one guy $30 million to sit on the bench. That ain't, we'll see if this guy's gonna play.
Yeah.
He's going to get a first crack at it. And once again, I, Pat McAfee, would like to say that when Carson Wentz is playing good, it's fucking awesome. It's just there's other times you just got to be like, let's just stop doing those. It feels like those are, easily avoidable at the adult level. Let's do that. He just hasn't been able to do it thus far. For the Colts, where he only had 1 year, where he didn't really have a training camp. For the end of his career at the Eagles, where they burned that entire place down.
Sure.
Maybe Commanders is what he needs, and he'll be all the way back. So I am a fan of Carson Wentz. It just did not end great
Same
with
here.
the Colts.
I am too. Always have been.
He should maybe be a tight end or a middle linebacker, but that fucking guy can play football quarterback.
Yeah, he can. I mean, Trey Lance has played one game and they lost, and the 49ers odds are plus 16.
That's a good point, too. You guys gave up on him way too soon.
Heard
Only
it.
1 year. Didn't really
Yeah.
get the full offseason. That's a shame.
You heard Jim speak. It sounded like he mid-season. All right. No matter what happens.
Got an astronaut.
The fact they found somebody to take the contract was a huge deal for the Colts.
Ridiculous.
That's because Carson's a player.
Well, and because Washington's burning down at the seams.
Yeah, good culture.
All right. We're back and forth. I hope everybody got their shots in. Commanders, we're on your side here. All right.
Yeah, we are Commanders.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's that from?
The internet. The internet.
That's right.
All right, back and forth.
Most guys have tried different ways to last longer, but thinking about Lambda and Sweet Blake doesn't always work. That's why the
That
folks
would
at
make it
Roman.
last longer, by the way. If you're thinking of Sweet Blake. Going
Not for
punt.
Diggs.
And his assless chaps.
No, yeah, cool. That would fucking send me through the roof.
He's exploding.
Really?
All right.
Well, Tony, the good news is the folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes, the secret to longer lasting sex.
Hell yeah.
Roman Swipes are clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, Connor, easy to use,
Okay.
and fast acting, but don't require a prescription. All you gotta do is go to getroman.com/Pat and get 10% off your first order of swipes plus free 2-day shipping.
Go.
Make sure you click the link in the description to get $10 off swipes so you can start having longer lasting sex.
Sweet.
Thank you, Nick. We appreciate that, obviously. That is very...
Oh, no, the fire's back.
Sage.
Where's that coming from?
Sage comes from the earth. It is old remedy. I believe it is a... I don't actually know who started the saging thing.
Pagans, probably.
Who?
Pagans.
And they would take the sage, you light it on fire, and then they would, get all the bad spirits out.
Didn't Kyrie do that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Native Americans and other indigenous peoples have burned sage for centuries.
Okay, so that's all I try to do
A lot
here.
of like high class, the uppity people like to walk around a new house with sage. And, like, bless it.
Well, yeah, because you also check under the carpet for pentagrams.
Yeah.
Or spilt milk, if
Yep.
you got something from Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
The Egyptians also did the saging way back in the...
Is that right?
And the Romans, so let's
Are
not
they
forget
uppity,
them.
AJ?
The Egyptians.
Yeah. I'm saying people nowadays that do it.
What did you say about the Egyptians? They're all like 4 foot tall or something like that?
All 5'4".
What?
All under that.
Take-
all the tunnels
Yeah.
are basically like 5'6". So every
Take a
basic
tour.
Egyptian was very short. So I always thought about like the
Maybe they're
tallest
just good
Egyptian.
knee benders.
By the way, I looked it up.
Maybe the people who...
That reporter's last name from earlier with the 2 A's in a row, that was from Egyptian descent, I believe, as well.
Oh, okay.
Big Egypt show today.
Let's go to the phones. Who, Rob Mahdi?
Yes.
I love Egypt.
If you Google
Me too.
MAADDI, Egyptian descent.
Let's go to the phones. This has been our worst show. By far.
Can we get Bruce to do that swing again?
It's called the juju,
elbows.
dude.
Why do you go
the juju.
floppy wrist? I don't understand why
It's called a juju, and like
Bro,
70
guys.
70 different countries are using it right now.
It's the countries, not guys. 70 countries. I'm
Rick
so
Barry
sorry.
won the long
Rick
drive.
Barry won the
with it.
long drive
That-
with it after he retired.
Weird swing you guys were talking about has been used in 70 different countries.
Okay, Bruce. Okay, dude.
We will not have Bruce do the swing again, but we do have a still shot of your reaction.
For real though, like Bruce looks athletic there, a little pigeon toe stance. I like it. Bruce
Just because he's got J's on. Those J's are sick. They're a great addition. And he does have some jeans. These are a good pair.
It was the next picture. If there was another picture, like one frame more, where the wrist just went, and the wrist.
No, listen, you don't understand that swing, was put
that
a
club
roof
would feel
over.
like it's like you're trying to turn around a baseball bat and like, what are you doing?
You trying to do like those trick batters do, where they flip the bat in the middle of the
catch it.
The guy that sent us a message, he was very pissed. Hey, that swing put a roof over me and my family's head for like 3 decades. That weird thing.
Congrats.
I just like to let old buddy, just like Rick Barry won the long drive contest and 70 countries used it, and it has helped people. Our introduction to that swing was our left-handed friend who was learning the sport, going through a swing change, and he looked terrible, and the outcome somehow worse than how the swing looked. So we are potentially, first impressions die hard thing. That's maybe why the juju is so negative in our eyes. But I'll tell you what, when Boston Connor picks this up in about a year from now, when he gets the yips and he's slicing and dicing courses, I think we'll be all the way back in.
No, I live with the yips. I'm never going to change my swing because of them.
His brother and dad, very good golfers.
I believe it. My brother scratch.
Really?
What happened?
That's quite a
he
head
won
start,
the club
isn't it?
championship.
That's a head start.
Have you seen his bag of clubs?
30?
What do you mean?
He uses like 17 different clubs. Like they're not a uniform
Last
set.
time I golfed with him, he didn't have a putter.
No,
you just bought a putter this past weekend.
Yeah.
But your brother's scratch at the club. So like, what does that mean?
He won the club championship at the country club he belongs to in Massachusetts.
Did you live with this family growing up?
No. No, I lived in a cupboard under the stairs, and I never got to see anybody.
But is this the family you live with? Your nuclear family? Is this it?
Yes, this is my nuclear
And how do
family.
They just went and played golf at the club a lot. What were you doing? Playing water polo?
No, he was at the yacht club, right?
Yeah, video games and bopping. Really, sometimes I'd get. Sometimes they'd take me.
I respect it.
Yeah.
You and Lambda had things to do. Let's go to the phones. 500 phone line here. Let's go to Lucas in Los Angeles, the city of stars. Lucas, what's going on?
What's up, boys? How you doing?
Terrible. It's been a rough Wednesday here on the program. Got a big weekend coming up, though, which is carrying us all, I think, mentally, and we're excited about it. What do you want to talk about, brother?
I wanted to talk about the Vikings. I know it's a big Packers show with Aaron Rodgers coming on, and we're missing Ty. Shout out to him and his good gambler baby.
Yeah, baby is good.
Hopefully.
Gambler.
But
as good
I
as
think with
Lambda.
Kirk Cousins, he's got one of the highest passer ratings in the league. You got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, bunch of new additions to the defense, new GM, new coach. Are we looking like Super Bowl favorites here, boys?
AJ, what are you laughing? AJ,
You know what? When you go through it, you got the new coach, right? O'Connell's there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kev.
maybe they open up a little bit. The Vikings absolutely look to be an improved team. I think they will be better, but guess what? Aaron Rodgers stayed in the division. That's
Okay.
That's the most difficult thing they have.
And we obviously are yelled at for carrying his water all the time, but he's the back-to-back MVP.
I think most people would say that, though. Like, if you're in the same division where Aaron Rodgers is the starting quarterback, that's going to be a tough division to win.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people understand that. But our show in specific gets yelled at because we get a chance to chat with them and being a Packers show. But we have a lot of friends on that Vikings team.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Vikings squad is wide receiver duo, Thielen and Jefferson, fucking you put it at top of the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Top of the NFL for them. Kirk Cousins, now he's become a dog over there in leadership as opposed to maybe in the past wasn't allowed to. Send an entire message to the new GM and the new head coach like, hey, this is what I think we need to do, and everybody's kind of bought in. It feels like the energy around the Vikings is good. Now, the big bad wolf still in the NFC North. That is the back-to-back MVP, Aaron Rodgers, and guy that we have on our show. And that's just the truth, okay? This is not us talking or slurping, as people say, Aaron Rodgers. That is just the truth. How long will that be, though? With the way Davante Adams was speaking about how I chatted with Aaron for a lot, and if he's done after this season or next season, I still want to go on for a long time. I couldn't risk it. Plus, with my family going back there, with Aaron alluding to, like, how long do I want to play? With the way the contract that he just signed is set up, it's like the Vikings, I think they understand that the big bad wolf is still in the neighborhood, but I think the wolf's moving out soon, and the energy should be, just like Lucas said, very, very high in Minnesota.
Yeah, you talk about the energy and you talk about the Vikings and them feeling good, and you have to think, like, do the Packers feel bad? Because one of the greatest GMs of all time, Mike Tannenbaum, did say the other day on a show on ESPN that it was Aaron Rodgers' fault that Davante left. Selfish because he was selfish in the timing and everything like that. So you have to see if that put a black cloud over top of the organization.
I'm thankful you got to bring up what Mike Tannenbaum said, because that is the same tired thing about the prima donna, selfish diva that is Aaron Rodgers. They made an offer to Davante that had more money in it. They were able to do it. The salary cap isn't real. Tannenbaum, you're a former GM. You should know that. Well, maybe not, I guess, with the outcome. But nonetheless, I think it's, the way Aaron has been chatted about for a long time is going to, hold true for a lot of people for the rest of their lives. But Kyle Brandt did a breakdown of Week 13 on this show. If we have another Aaron Rodgers Tuesday season, which we are all hopeful for, obviously, if that happens again, the question across the bottom was, should we be concerned, or should the Packers be concerned about no Davante Adams and the offense and everything? And Kyle Brandt cut a pretty good promo about how it's going to be Week 13, and Aaron's going to be sitting next to me and to you out here, and he's going to talk about how we all doubted the Packers offense when Davante left. He said they'll be 10-3, 11-2, maybe 9-4 at the time. And he's just going to give an entire diatribe, basically, about what everybody is saying. And it's hard not to think like that. He has just had success every single fucking time he stepped on a football field with whoever he stepped on a football field with. And I know you and him, you guys talk, but not necessarily about football because you're friends, so it's not just all football all the time. What is his mindset going in? New challenge, no quarterback coach, new offense coordinator, new weapon to use and the whole thing. Have you talked about that with him, and what do you think his mindset is? Same as always?
Yeah, I think he's pumped, honestly. He feels like he's excited whenever football, when football when it does start, because last year at this time, when did everything come? Like, where were we right now last year? Where were we in the whole Aaron Rodgers situation? Was he still pissed at the organization? What were we doing?
Yes, I think so.
And he came back the first day of camp. That's right.
Yeah, we were still.
He had your Pit Vipers on, remember?
Yeah, it took it right up until then. Okay, so yeah, I would say it's much, much better than it was last year, right? He's openly talked about the conversations and the communication with the front office. He and LaFleur seem to be awesome. So yeah, I think he's juiced, man. I have no idea how much longer he plays. If he ever tries to say, whenever all these rumors float that this will be his last year or whatever, I'm like, what if you win the MVP again, man? Like, what if you're still playing like you're playing? You're going to walk away?
In that speech he gave about competition and why he loves the NFL, and those hyper-competitive dudes, it's tough to walk away from. It's tough.
You're that good. If you're that good at something, why would you quit?
At that position too, because you're only getting smarter and smarter and better mentally. If your body can still do it and you still have the competitive stamina that I don't know how these dudes and ladies are able to maintain for decades and decades at the highest of levels, when you've accomplished everything, I don't know how you don't relax, but some of them just have the ability to continue to go. If I was a quarterback in the NFL, if I was Aaron Rodgers, I would have so much fun doing it. Playing pickup football is a blast whenever you play. When I would play with people that weren't, D1, I had so much fun playing football. So much fun. Pickup games, so much fun. This is a blast. Playing quarterback, playing defense, just running around, flying around. And it feels like that to him no matter what the defense is. Like, there's a couple guys that, it does not matter what you're doing on the other side. I know what you're doing, and I'm going to make a play. You're right. That'll be a very difficult decision. But I do believe the future. Everybody talks about Tom Brady's future being so massive because obviously $375 million being reported and definitely being true too. And they can try to spin that as many times as they want. But Aaron post-football, let alone his investments and connections and what he's interested in and everything like that, he's going to be very successful then too. He's going to be very, very successful. And I'm sure for him, conquering a new thing might be,
What is that new thing? That's the question.
Well, Jeopardy was potentially, wasn't it, there for a
who's hosting now?
think they're still doing the rotating.
No, it's that lady
They're
from
Ken Jennings
Bang Theory.
and
Big Bang Theory.
Mayim Bialik.
Maybe Aaron conquers
What's
a
name?
different realm.
Mayim Bialik. I believe.
She's good. I think she's a good host, by the way. She's actual rocket scientist too. I think so. It's like
She was a kid actor, right?
Yes.
I never see Jeopardy.
yeah, I'm usually at work still while it's on.
Same thing. I don't ever see the Golf Channel anymore. I don't see MTV. It never like crosses my radar.
MTV's gone.
Golf channels.
MTV's gone.
No, I mean, it's still there, but I never cross it either.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Where's Pauly Shore?
Carson Daly
Where's Jersey Shore?
Pauly Shore's still touring. I think he's still touring.
He is. Yeah.
I think so. You know, his mom owns like one of the most
She did.
OG comedy.
She owned the Comedy Store. Yeah.
Yeah, like-
Really?
yeah, he was like birthed in the comedy game by all the legends over there because his mom
Mitzi.
owned the place. Yeah, and then crazy world.
All those comedians talk about her all the time.
Good person.
She was ruthless, I guess. Like she would tell people how she felt their set went. Like she was weeding them out.
She passed away in 2018. Moment of silence for this lady who's one of the mothers of comedy. Rest easy, Bitsy Shore. Itsy Shore? Bitsy Shore.
Mitzi.
Mitzi. Zito, gonna need you to be a little bit clearer on that particular name. Yeah. That's
Come on,
a couple
Z.
minutes ago.
Love you, Mitzi.
'Cause, I mean, that sounded, the way you said that sounded like Itsy, Bitsy.
Spider.
And I was trying to have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. She would want us laughing anyways.
Yeah. Thanks for the laughs.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Champion in Florida. Champion, what's going on, pal?
Get ready!
Oh, no.
Come on and get ready!
Not to speak.
Are you ready for some callers? It's a 5-hour energy party! We got
Good
Pat
voice. Junior?
Walker in the board. We're gonna get this thing started. Show so toxic, might be canceled soon. All my rider friends are here weekdays at noon.
Hey, that was awesome.
Use that for the intro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we should.
You a musician?
That's it, bro. I called to talk about Gumpy.
Oh, okay. You sang instead, so we'll talk about Gump if you need us to.
I know. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I was
You worried about him?
and say that I was originally going to call and say that Gumby deserved to be deported because he kept picking against the service schools.
Sheesh.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
And I was going to say that Toby Keith and I, if he ever came back, Toby Keith and I were going to put a boot up his ass. And it was
Jeez.
going to be brought to you courtesy
of the red, white, and blue. Champion, good call, pal.
Might listen to that song 100 times this weekend.
Maybe, and just go ahead and strap one of these on the shoulder too. You know, so champion, how you doing? Gumpy will one day hopefully conquer the land as well.
That was the best call in maybe. No, I forgot about the guy.
Owen, yeah. Think about how at the beginning none of us gave him an opportunity. It's not a
No.
Feel Good Friday. We're just on a Wednesday, so whenever he came in singing,
Yeah.
like
And you said, "Oh no," right away. You think?
that's what I'm saying. That's right.
That
That's why
didn't derail him. I respected it did not derail him. He kept going.
he didn't hear me. He had his phone
No.
flipped like this
Yeah.
for sure, right? He as soon as his name came through, speakerphone flipped that thing.
He was reading.
Are you ready?
Yeah, even Champion being like him having his name be Champion also I thought was a tough sign.
I miss the old Monday
Hey, we
Night Football
appreciate
song.
you, Champion.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good
Good call. Sorry I dialed it early.
Got some pipes
Or
on
the
him.
last time they had a good booth.
Let's go to
Can't wait for this.
Gotcha and Troy.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Champion on the tune.
Prime time game.
Let's go to Nick in Cleveland, Ohio. Nick, what's going on? Great name, great city.
Yeah.
What's up, boys? Hey, hail Lambda.
You said Hail Lambda?
Yeah, he did.
Can't do that,
Are you
Nick.
kidding me?
Nick, jeez.
Come on.
Is that serious?
Not surprised
can't do
Cleveland
that.
will be the first to roll over.
What a call.
Jesus
What
Christ.
a call.
Fucking Bernie's brother.
Dude, Sweet Blake is going to reach out to Nick here. He needs you on his side. Sweet Blake's been fighting a one-front war here. Let's go to Tony in Toronto.
I'll help you with your landscaping, Nick. I know you have some landscaping in the backyard.
Manscaping.
What's going on, Tony in Toronto?
Gentlemen,
for you.
good afternoon. Lifelong Steeler fan, season
This guy
ticket
good?
holder, and most importantly, uncle of the famous Adriano, the best caller from yesterday. Do you recall that call?
Oh, yeah. How could I not? I remember. Great call yesterday. Adriano from Toronto. Remember?
Yeah, I do. That's why I said this guy again.
Got it. Gentlemen, indulge me. I got 2 topics. I want your opinion. Now, you can't toe the party line here. You got to give me your...
Oh, a Canadian telling me that. Listen, I don't need... All right, Tony.
Parliament.
Topic 1, Kenny Pickett.
Like the
Steelers reach in the first round, or is he the next great Pitt quarterback, a.k.a. Dan Marino? Let's start with Pat.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Oh, man,
we're
this
running
guy
around the room, too.
Producing the show.
We're running around the room. I think you're going to get a lot of the same answer from us in here because we chatted about him afterwards. Is it a reach? We don't know. We have no idea about the draft on how anybody's going to go. I think he's going to be a guy, though, after the conversation yesterday. Now, the Steelers, even with Roethlisberger, have been known as a defensive squad, a defensive team. Now, I know there was a time there where Roethlisberger was putting up 500 yards and Lev Bell was in the backfield, but those are long ago. I think Kenny Pickett will be able to be a serviceable quarterback until he becomes a great quarterback, and I know the team will be built around him. With that being said, I don't think he should start the beginning of the season at all. Tony, your next subject that you would like to talk about.
Well, this one's directly at you, Pat.
Fuck.
All-time Steeler favorite, and that's quite a statement, knowing that Canton's full of Steeler greats.
I like this.
Troy Polamalu, we really want to hear
He's an asshole.
the impact and what you think of Troy, because we've heard it before.
All right, Tony. Jason
What?
Louise.
I thought he was asking you who your
Good call. He didn't.
What does he want to know about Troy?
Just my thoughts, I think, on Troy. He's unbelievable at football. He had a great instinct. Somehow he had Jesus talking to him, and maybe he had a little video information before he played the Colts one time.
Who is your favorite all time? I thought that's what he was asking. I know your answer.
My favorite Steeler?
Yep.
Probably Full Matu
Yeah,
Mafal.
do it.
Probably Chris Full Matu Mafal.
I had it written down.
If I had to guess.
Why is that?
The old 4 or 5.
He's fucking Full Matu Mafal, dude. Are you kidding
Mike
me?
Tomzak.
Name's awesome.
No.
Well, Brett
Good
Kiesel.
player.
It's going to be tough to get me on the Tom Zach train or a Neil O'Donnell train.
O'Donnell had a cannon.
Bobby Brister.
Yeah, he also threw 17 picks in a Super Bowl on purpose.
What about Cordell?
You ever
Cordell
meet
had a
Chris
nice
from
run.
Guatemala fall in the hole?
Have you ever met? Yeah, have you ever met Full Matu Mafala?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Unbelievable. I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
you'd remember
You're
if
lucky.
you did.
Yeah. Be dead.
He fucking had a head now. There's a head on him.
Pittsburgh's fullback when I feel
Dan
terrible. I
Kreider.
don't remember his name.
Oh, Dan
Dan
Kreider.
Kreider.
Well, no, Kreider was a monster, but there was a guy, man, I forget his name now, whose
Derek
head was
Watt?
granite and brutal. When I was in Cincinnati and he was with Pittsburgh, he was a monster.
His head was granite.
Rosie Nick.
Yeah,
Roosevelt
that's it.
Nick.
Rosie used to fucking bring
Something about his angle. The angle. Some guys, the angle that you would hit him at was different, and he was one of them.
At what stage of the game do you realize that you're going against a Marblehead?
First play, usually. Like, oh, okay. All right.
Do you tell anybody? Do you give a heads up to
Yes.
anybody else?
All the other backers that are going to be taking him on. Hey, man, just letting you know he's one of them. And they're like, oh man.
Chris Mad Dog Russo will be on the other side of this 6-minute break. I'm sure his show will definitely be better than ours. We'll see you in 21 hours, maybe, if you want to return. See you then. Today's show, boys, we got to talk about it. Can't have that happen every day.
What happened?
All right. Back to the drawing board.
No show meeting.
There's magic tricks. We had a show meeting.
Yeah, but your magic tricks were sweet.
I've never seen those before.
Yeah.
I saw the clip while I was going out to get a little sip of coffee or something that we put out. Shout out Gump, by the way. And the tweet just says, "This show stinks." And then it is a 2-minute clip of me doing 3 fake magic tricks. And then it ends with Chris Angel doing abs, holding the money in the bank thing.
Yeah.
With Ezekiel climbing.
You'll never
Going
get
for the case.
this. You'll never get this.
This show.
I blame
Possible.
Schrags. He really started us off terribly.
Yeah, what's his
What did he do?
fucking deal?
He says he's on Corbin's side. If we get
Yeah.
He's like you. He's trying to play your gimmick.
Yeah, he's ball
I haven't
washing
said I'm on
bum
Corbin's
ass.
side.
Well, I know, but every person in the past you have.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Oh,
No, because
Cool.
I met Adam Cole and his buds, and I was
Cool.
like, these guys are very nice.
They were not nice.
not.
They were rude. They were
I
pricks.
don't care. I mean, I know you have a program running with Corbin. I don't care about that. I'm waiting for the secondary program where Vince runs out and you get to rematch that guy. You need to get a victory over him.
Now listen, that was not a sanctioned match. That was just an exhibition. So,
Oh, it's a friendly like soccer.
well, it wasn't like soccer because we're physical in there. Did you see what he fucking did to me?
Oh, I saw what he did. to you.
Punches
Yeah.
the ball 85
Serious.
miles an hour into your ribs.
You got a collapsed lung still, don't you?
I can't wait to tell the story of all of that 30 years from now. Cannot wait. You know, when I feel like it's the right time. I don't like that about the wrestling business nowadays.
What part?
Let's go for shoot here. Hey, you're in the business. Like, let's be respectful for the business. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's people that have opinions and ideas on how the business goes, but they don't fucking need to know. You know, people don't need to know that the pencil was behind my ear there. You know, if they believe that I did, like,
Wait,
you know,
what?
like I just think there should be a time limit for that type of shit to happen, as opposed to like boom right now, boom right now, boom right now. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's stages of when stuff should come out and the rest. This is just my opinion. I'm a fucking stooge. I've been a fan forever, but personally, I feel that that is the case.
Yeah, I mean, is it worse now than before, though? Like, is more stuff getting out all the time? I mean, obviously, the internet and social media changes that, but are actual wrestlers putting out stuff they shouldn't put out?
Not everybody. I think there's a lot of people that feel the same way I do, but there is some that get out and just start, like, the pop that you're about to get, we understand, but, like, everybody in the history of the business could have done that at any moment.
You mean once they're out of the WWE?
No. Yeah, but, like...
You can't really do that while you're in, can you?
I think people
Depends
were.
who you are. Who you can afford to be, right?
I think people were, and then maybe not so much anymore. I'm not sure, but I just don't like as soon as something happens and then, you know, I'm like, all right, everybody relax, dude.
Yeah, hold on to it for a while.
It's a fucking business, dude. Let's have a little
respect the buzz.
Well, couth.
And also, later, you're going to need some shit, probably.
Yeah, I think that goes with everything. Like, even our business. I'm not going to tell a story that's happened behind the scenes here until later on because it's pretty epic. If I do it now just for a pop, like that.
And who knows how it's going to... And by the way, if you were to tell said story, would do well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I understand why you would want to, but also, like, much better later on.
Yeah. It's like wine.
You know what I mean, AJ?
It is like wine.
Yeah, of course, man. What's the saying?
Can't put the toothpaste back into the tube.
Yep. That too. Something comes to those who wait.
Grass is always greener.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not so.
Patience is a virtue.
Grass is not always greener. That's definitely something people need to.
No, it never is.
I
Isn't
know
that the whole point?
Yeah, it's actually used in that fashion, I think, now.
Yeah.
Hasn't rained in a month.
The devil you know.
Hasn't rained in a month. The grass is greener where you water it, to your point.
Yeah, I'd like to know how AJ knew I was getting landscaping work done. That was creepy.
Yeah, Nick.
Hamda.
I got eyes on you.
Good point.
You're an Italian.
Oh, all right, that's fair.
No, I think, Nick, you talked about it, or you were put videos out months ago of you doing some work in the backyard or something.
His backyard is a paradise.
It's sweet.
You got the pool, right?
I do a pool. That means a lot coming from you, whose backyard
awesome.
is
Now it's a
Mount
resort.
Olympus,
yeah,
basically.
Now it is pretty awesome. But your backyard is... He's got a chipping area, a putting area, a pool, big space for a wall, a couple of bunnies for him to fucking chase and snap their necks.
Yeah.
Nice little sunroom.
You're doing it, dude.
We just got the pool heater too, boys.
Need to get a roof closer to the pool.
Working on it.
So you can jump off.
Need to jump off. Need to jump off.
Oh.
In the pool, yeah. I mean, are we doing it or not?
Put a high dive up.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Oh, like the Red Bull that dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So add something on your house that is just a plank or a ladder that goes straight up, like another 30, 40 feet, and then put a platform up there.
Yes.
We could do the Gutentag.
Yeah.
Flugtag.
No, the Flugtag is the rocket, the things. Red Bull has the death diving thing.
Oh yeah, when all the divers at the bottom splash so that they can see where they're landing.
Yeah, when they jump off the cliffs.
All the people with tanks on, they splash.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It's fucking absurd. They'll go off like 100, 120 foot cliffs.
Oh yeah.
No thanks.
Doing flips and twists and everything.
They got to be on drugs, right? Those people got to be on drugs. They got to have drugs in their system.
Fear that Alex Honnold.
Yeah, it's the fear thing. That's what those people are doing. They don't have it.
You catch me in my
The amygdala.
There it is.
There it is.
Can you just remove that? Can you go in
Yeah,
and
it's
be like,
not
hey,
good.
take it out?
You will have unwanted consequences, but yeah.
Like what?
It's like when you go back in time, huh?
Exactly.
You go back in time.
Butterfly
and change.
effect.
You catch me early 20s though, pretty tuned up, boozed up.
Oh yes.
You could have probably got me to jump off one of those things, but like
How high though? I mean, there's a big difference between like 50 feet and 150 feet.
I agree. In Pittsburgh though, there was like a 50-foot pier or whatever into the river that we would jump
shack.
off of in pitch black. I mean, that was
Stupid.
stupid. But I guess the pitch black helped because you couldn't really.
Yeah.
You had no idea what was coming.
I think you still would if the right person challenged you.
if we're getting it on content, and I know I won't.
Depends
die.
how close the mountain. Like depends if you could really feel confident about jumping out and getting away from the wall too. I think if it's like a close call, okay, you better get a good push, or you're going to come right back and smack this wall.
Yeah, how much is on the line? I guess
The second part's a big one. What you said.
I won't die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I have pretty good confidence, I'm not going to die. I'll do.
Well, you got that ear though. You got that eardrum. You can't do it.
I would certainly hold
Yeah,
that.
of course.
what are you
Well,
talking
Good,
about?
good luck when you lose control in midair though.
No, put
No,
earplugs
body
in.
control is the whole thing. That's you know what I mean. That's why I'd probably swan 10 Bombini in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, do a full.
Can we move the high dive to your lake? The lady just shut it down at the house.
What's her deal?
Ready?
What's the deal?
That's stupid.
Come on.
AJ will pay for the insurance.
Yeah.
I don't even think we need insurance. Maybe just a nurse or a lifeguard.
I'll be a lifeguard.
Definitely don't tell your insurance.
There's a shortage on lifeguards right now.
If someone gets hurt, take that.
Shortage on pilots right now, I guess, too.
Shortage on
everything.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely a shortage on pilots.
Is that why this whole thing's happening, where people are getting delayed 11, 12? I saw Harbaugh was in an airport for 11 hours yesterday.
I'm
He's
sure it's
got-
part of it. Yeah.
He's got a new deal in Michigan. He's not flying private. What the fuck is going on?
I'm sure he has hours built into his contract.
usually
They all
his
do.
deal.
He was sleeping in the airport. I seen it on a TikTok today.
It's recruiting. You know, it's a
Like
recruiting tool.
15 passports.
Yeah, why do you have so many passports?
You saying it's
that's
fugazi,
weird.
AJ? You saying it's
Well, he's
content?
probably traveling.
No,
and
no.
The dad has to hold the passports for the family.
Yeah, and he seems like a guy that would hold all the stuff for the family, but
Yeah.
even more so, why are we flying?
AJ, how many hours do you get to the airport before your family travels? 7, 8?
No, we try to cut it as close as we possibly
really?
can. Why?
Dude, I love that. Tim McAfee was trying to get me there as a kid. We had to travel a couple times via plane. It was like a big deal. Tim McAfee read somewhere, right? Oh, got to be there 3.5 hours beforehand. I'm fucking spending my whole life sitting. I don't want to fly anywhere ever again. This is just like driving. I'm just fucking sitting here, the whole thing. But that nowadays, I guess that is, you're going to be at the airport
Oh yeah.
a long time, regardless. And they won't tell you until like 4 minutes before scheduled takeoff, I guess. Why is that? And how is it continued for this long? Is there no like adapting or changing? Like have to book fewer flights as opposed to just overbooking every single flight? Is
They
there
don't care.
any
They're still getting
punishment?
their money. So
Yeah. Feels like they're just booking the same flights and then they're hoping that one flight is at the airport in time for those pilots to switch to the next flight.
Well, they'll have stewardess and stuff like that not show up, and then you're not allowed to fly if you don't have a certain amount of stewardess and stuff like that. So then the flight will get canceled and blah, blah, blah.
Well, let alone if the toilet breaks.
And one stewardess sleeps in, the whole
Correct.
flight gets canceled if they can't find a
Bingo.
replacement. That's what sucks.
And then
Well,
it's a
delayed an
chain-
hour.
There's a chain of events.
Sunday, there was 700 canceled flights.
Jeez.
700 in the United States of America. Now, that tells you how many flights are taking off every single fucking day. So when you hop on a plane, you should feel much more comfortable than you probably do because of what you heard whenever you were a kid. There's thousands. I think it's like 4,400 or 44,000. I forget what the number was. I watched this. It was on.
Air travel is
I think
very,
it is
very
100.
safe.
4,400 flights a day, maybe.
5,600 passenger flights daily.
There it is.
Daily.
So 44.
U.S. commercial
In
flight
the,
carriers.
the Friday before Father's Day, Mad Dog was talking about how 20% of those flights were canceled.
Yep.
20%.
My son.
Colin couldn't even make
It's
it.
1,100. I guess Delta is really having an issue. I guess
Yeah.
Delta's booking as if they have no like workforce problems.
When they brought back some of their flights that they had to get rid of during COVID. Like they brought back kind of their regular schedule, and because of that,
Yeah, they're booking as if they don't have a workforce. problem.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
I went to Chicago. Was it last week for that golf deal with Walgreens, and that was my first time in a while in the airport, and it felt like it was just direct to Chicago and back, so I didn't have any issues, luckily.
Lucky.
But it felt good to see an airport, like the airport's actually open. I hated going through any airport during COVID when it just felt like dead. It was depressing. I walked through Detroit a few times during like the heat of it. It was terrible. Like, there's nobody there.
Even when it's
Airport.
nice.
It's a good airport.
Hey,
Nothing was open either.
Detroit Airport's a very nice airport, but that is
The
a
little fountains, you know, you walk by those fountains shooting the water.
Yeah, how about the roof light thing?
Oh, like the psychedelic
follows you?
tunnels, yeah.
Did they have that on or off?
That was on, yeah, but I was like
Oh,
by
thank
myself.
God.
I'm walking through it solo.
Oh shit! You're really tripping there then, because they have birds whistle too. Whenever you get past one part into the next part, you turn around. There's like a little bush there or something. It's like
People pop out from the ceiling every once in a while like a haunted walk.
I've never experienced that. I feel like I've flown through Detroit a lot.
Only a few times I have.
See, this is from the other day.
What?
not sure.
You said that, you know. And it's
Yeah,
like-
I know. I said it because it was true.
See,
It happens
can't have it.
with us dry monotone guys, and that's on us, AJ. We got to learn to flip our voice a little bit when you're saying something that's not serious.
Maybe I am serious.
You're not.
You don't. I honestly, I
No
might.
humans
I might
popped out of the sky at the Detroit airport to scare you.
Not the sky, the ceiling. They pop up. Ooh, maybe it was Halloween time. Maybe it was a special thing they were.
Yeah, but that is painted like the sky, isn't it? That whole thing.
Yeah, but it's a drop ceiling, so they could pop out all over the place.
They could, so they have it.
You can't be 100%.
You just added
certain.
yourself.
So you actually, as you're on that escalator, you thought to yourself, drop ceiling, they could have a guy just pop down right here. That's what happened?
I can't wait. Punch.
I used to travel through there a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Great airport. One of the best things Detroit has, right?
Nicest thing in the city.
Yeah, for sure.
City's pretty nice now, everyone is telling me.
Sure.
Yeah,
They're
sure
not
they-
happy with
sure
how
they
we
wouldn't lie to
portray
you.
Detroit on this show.
Yeah, okay.
What would you know about it?
Sure, buddy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Hey, let's go to Logan in Michigan. What's going on, Logan?
Pat and the boys, how we doing?
You in Detroit? Keep it moving. Sorry about it. You did great there to start the thing. We kind of derailed you. Are you in Detroit? Where are you in Michigan? Western Michigan, where all the ups are? UP, where, Canada is?
Northern.
I'm way up north by the Saginaw Bay.
Summertime
By
in
where,
Northern Michigan.
Saginaw.
Summertime.
Draymond Green.
Summertime.
Hey, we
Let's go.
appreciate you,
Song.
Logan. What do you want to talk about, brother?
Hey, just wanted to shout out for the brand, especially because it's 15% off those shirts. But I don't want to, bum you guys out. But I did have to put my dog down today. But luckily for me, he had no cancer problems through his life. So I'm going to contribute back to the brand by buying a ticket for the brand event August 27th in Indy.
Oh, Logan, we appreciate the hell. Sorry you had to do that with your dog. I'm sure you will celebrate the good times and the love that you guys had together. That is obviously the worst part of it all, especially with a living, breathing creature. Valerie, our dog, half pit bull, half Shar-Pei, she ended up getting cancer a few years back, and we wanted to obviously, this is the first dog that I've really connected with, and Sam introduced this dog to my life. She saved it from the pen or whatever, and the dog knows that. She was adopted. Valerie knows it. She has the tattoo of the stripe that, hey, one more week, she was probably going to get put down. Sam adopts her. She's very thankful. I love this dog. I fucking love Valerie. She's the first dog that has, got me, hooked, emotional-wise. So a couple years back, whenever she got cancer for the first time, it was devastating. I was very scared. And then they're like, hey, here's a procedure that can happen, and this is how much it costs. And they told us it was like a couple $1,000. I'm like, holy fuck. That is so much money. And I had to think back to my mom and dad, whenever I was growing up, if this was to happen to a dog that we had, there's no fucking shot that would happen. There's no chance that they'd be able to spend that money. Sam, her mom and dad, same exact situation. So Sam started Further Brand to basically help people pay for cancer treatments to extend happiness with their families and for dogs. 55 different dogs across 30 states she's already helped, and she's just getting going. She had she was on the fucking news yesterday, man. I
saw you post something.
I was so proud of her, man, on the news doing her thing. It's really, really cool, and I feel like she's getting true fulfillment out of it. But there's a lot of sad dog stories that are coming through too, and it's whoa, that'll weigh you down. That's heavy shit, you know what I mean, AJ?
Oh yeah, we go look at dogs all the time over at the pound and take our kids there, and it's hard not to take 15 home every single time we go. So yeah, it's cool, man. Everyone, I would assume some people aren't dog people, but everyone, I would assume, has enjoyed being around a dog at some point in their life, right?
You would hope. There's some people that don't like dogs though, and then, I never didn't like dogs. Always liked dogs, just never had oh, I'm obsessed with dogs, or I had a dog. Always very busy, never really in the house. I'm out and running. So my parents had dogs, but it wasn't a super connection. But all the super dog people say that if you don't like dogs, we just learned a lot about, we learned a lot about you. I don't know how you couldn't, I honestly don't know
They
how.
think you're a serial killer if you don't like dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. And
What is Bill's stance?
He has 6 cats.
No dogs.
So, are you serious?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I wish I was joking. Wish I was joking.
I should not have asked.
Bill,
love you, Bill.
Wish we were joking.
6 cats?
Okay. What was that okay all about?
Might be 7, to be honest.
I was hoping Tone was joking.
Hold on. Well, now we'll wait for Bill to catch up to the show with his 30-second delay and come answer for himself.
The black smoke is building, so he should emerge.
When you have a lot, man, that's tough. It's a lot of. Does he have like litter boxes all
There
over?
he is.
And-
He has a
They
roast.
piss over everything.
You have no dogs, Bill?
No dogs, no.
Not a dog guy?
I am a dog guy, actually. I've had dogs my entire life. Actually, I've been allergic to cats my entire life.
Okay, now you have how many cats?
6 cats. Yep.
6 cats. AJ thinks that's a problem. Is that you?
No.
AJ's not the only person that thinks that's a problem. But, it's kind of one of those things you just get subjected to eventually.
Yeah, I have 4 cats. And 4 cats.
You have other animals too, though. It's different when you have other animals.
4 cats, 2 dogs, yeah.
12 raccoons, possum.
No, those things are dead at the other house.
Way dead. Way dead.
Oh yeah, nail gun, right in the fucking head. Sick of that shit. I'm tired of building around these things.
Poison Fruit Loops.
Last night, none of that happened. Nobody. Last night there was like 4 families of Canadian geese though, down by our dock where Sam puts out.
Get them out of there. They're gonna poop all over.
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the terrorists of the sky.
You gotta send your dogs down to run them off.
So that is the thing. Chuck will go after the geese. I do not think he'll go after the ducks, but they might have had his ass flanked last night. We're talking mom, dad, Canadian geese terrorist, 4 kid Canadian geese terrorist, mom, dad, Canadian geese terrorist. Like they had 8 out there.
They stopped traffic the other day on the way home. There
I
were
seen that.
30 of them.
They had a cop
Yeah.
driving behind them in the left lane.
Yep.
Yeah.
They marched across the street.
Yeah, they fucking literally do it. They can fly too, and they don't care. They,
Cocky sons.
Took their time.
It's Canadian geese, man. Fuck 'em.
You know, back in the day, isn't it weird that people definitely still do it wherever different parts of the world in this country, but when they would put a dog down, the old dad would take him out in the back and shoot him.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they used to do.
That's wild. People still do that, I think.
Yeah,
Some-
send them to the farm.
Farms for sure.
Redfern grows.
Yeah.
And of mice and men.
Let's go to Georgia in Missouri.
Good literary reference.
Love you, Lenny.
The rabbits.
Lenny was
Lenny.
the big one.
Big old guy.
Yeah.
And then there was a little one.
George.
There was a tree, if I recall, right? A tree,
Yeah.
a house,
George put him down.
right?
I think it's been a while.
Somebody's riding on somebody else's shoulders at one point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably
that's
George
that's
on
another
Lenny.
movie.
Oh,
Or
wait.
book, sorry.
Which,
No, I think Lenny had some shoulder.
Lenny, yeah, he was
Shoulder action.
big and strong, but George couldn't, make it without him.
Yeah, down at the
Or
riverbed.
with him.
This was high school book, right? Had to read
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So literally all those books you had to read in high school, my only versions of them is the conversation that people had before each chapter that we had to talk about. So I just have to try to piece those things together.
There's a movie.
Yeah, George Clooney.
George.
Is it Clooney? I thought it isn't Malkovich.
It
is
is
he Lenny?
Malkovich. Malkovich, phenomenal role.
Yeah.
He's always good.
You might
I
be
watched
thinking
it in
of
school.
Grapes of Wrath.
Let's go to Georgia in Missouri. Georgia in Missouri, what's going on? The 5 Energy phone line, last call of the day, last moment of today's show. Thank God.
Pat, AJ, boys, let's ride.
Oh,
That's right.
That's
Georgia.
right.
Do we have the name right? Georgia?
Yeah.
Georgia.
Hey, Pat, I wanted to ask you if you saw the UFOs over San Diego last night for like over an hour.
You're damn right I did, Georgia. A lot of well tweets from me last night. Everybody telling me there were flares and weather balloons. Georgia, are you all in on these things as well? And what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. I think that they're just checking us out. They don't mean no harm.
Georgia, do you find it interesting that the thing that me and Foxy saw is literally the exact same thing that's been seen in Houston, San Diego, and over the air? Oh, gee, you all right? Georgia, you okay?
Why don't we send a plane up there? Send a drone up there and see what these are if they're there for an hour.
That'd be a suicide mission.
Georgia, we
Someone's gotta
appreciate you,
do it.
Georgia. I think she just I think her phone just
Aliens.
got shot out. But me and Foxy saw these things.
Yep.
That is sweet.
Sweet.
I believe that you saw it.
I filmed it, Tony.
What is that about?
Foxy, I filmed it.
Camera
Tony.
work was a little shaky.
No, so Foxy and I, the one we saw was big.
There's got to be closer video. There has to be somebody closer filming.
Yeah, there's numerous videos from this last night. Numerous. A lot of people talking about, hey, this has been here for an hour, this has been here
How
for an
about
hour.
right underneath that?
Well, I don't know. Hopefully. I think it was out on the water, though. San Diego, right?
Yeah.
It's a beach town. I think it was out there.
Okay.
And it could have been, this could be a bunch of drones, by the way. It just hovered for an hour or whatever for no reason. Nobody knew about it. But I don't think that has been announced to anybody. But everything that we have seen since then, me and Foxy saw. They look exactly what me and Foxy saw. Yep. And you all laughed us out. We were the fucking first ones. Huh? How about it, AJ?
I'm not laughing at you. I just want to.
Oh, yeah,
I want
it's
more.
a moon.
I need to see more. I'm sick of
It's a
seeing
moon.
this.
It's a moon. It's a moon.
This doesn't do anything for me. I need more. I need more info.
Yeah, we all want to
We
see an
all need
alien,
more.
AJ, but it's not going to happen.
Trot them out.
All right, well then good. I'm not going to act like it's changing the world every time one of these videos pops up and we say, "Oh, this is from 7 years ago."
Show
and now we're seeing it.
yourselves.
Yeah, I feel like we're close though because they don't care if they get spotted anymore. Like they're close to being like, all right, fuck it. Let's
And
just
I
walk
believe
down
that's why the
street.
government's like, hey, we need to give a heads up because these people are getting a little bit more aggressive.
Yes.
They're just a little bit more reckless and willy nilly about their flying around. The other day it was a ship going back and forth on the water and then bloop, right in,
Yep.
and it was being recorded by I think the Navy or the Air Force
Mhm.
who was trying to say, what the fuck is this? This is in our airspace. See you later. Right into the water, made a splash. Doesn't normally make a splash. Then they're saying that there's potential alien bases underneath the water and deep in the ocean, which would allude to the point that Nick and all the nerds have been trying to make. We know more about space than we know about the ocean. Well, what if they're both the same?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Let's get down
They
there and
will
find out.
reveal themselves at the World Cup final in Qatar.
I hope.
Trust me on
That'd be
this one.
sweet. And don't forget about that air
That
show.
was a movie.
Where they
We need to shoot
guy
one
was
down.
filming the jet.
You can't shoot them down, AJ. What, and
Good
start
luck.
an intergalactic war?
Yeah, come on. Wake up, idiot.
Intergalactic.
Primitive weaponry wouldn't affect them.
Send in Will Smith.
Absolutely. Will
Independence
Smith,
Day.
Tom Cruise, all of them. We have some breaking news. Just one day after Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years for sex trafficking to nobody, right? That's what come out as nobody. Sure. R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for what he has done in what? Grooming and hostage,ing
Yep.
and sexually assaulting
Yes.
is what was being accused. He used music for superstardom to subject young fans to systemic sexual abuse, has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. That's via Phil Lewis. This all came out on the Surviving R. Kelly doc, I believe, on Lifetime. It kind of opened all of our eyes. Then you do remember the interview where he said, they're trying to take my life. And then, Robert, sit down, and that whole thing. 30 years in jail, R. Kelly, for what he did here on Earth. That was alarming, the shit we were hearing about with him. And it's like, how did this go on for so damn long, you know?
In a time of the internet too, right? Well, a lot of it was going on with cell phones and everything, and he basically is holding people hostage and keeping them from their parent. Like, yeah, it's that whole deal. It was like a 5-part series. It was terrible.
Yes, it was terrible. And that makes you think also about, like, how the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff and Epstein stuff happened while we had the internet and everything like that. I don't understand how some people can get away with the things that they do. I don't understand how some people can sleep at night. I won't be able to sleep tonight because how bad this show was today. But I hope tomorrow we get back in the batter's box and we take big time.
I'll be better one.
It does make you wonder how people can sleep at night when they see something like that happening. Like maybe they
getting
have
ice
served R. Kelly ice cream
Yeah.
and didn't say anything.
To the
Didn't do
police.
anything. Didn't raise any red flags or question marks. Or
No,
report
actually
anything to
sang,
the
right?
authorities. Yeah.
Because that person was working at a ice cream shop that when
Cold
you get
Stone Creamery.
you have to sing whenever a tip comes. And R. Kelly was just dropping money.
weekend.
Dance,
Yeah.
sing for me, Zito.
Have me some fun. We did sing that, yes. And I pray to God, and I said sorry to him and the people,
You said sorry to God?
everybody.
Nice.
Okay.
Repent.
I repented.
Do you forgive him?
I fucking hate the guy. I always have, always will.
Zito?
No, R. Kelly.
Well, I'm not talking about forget. None of us have forgiven. He just
Will
got
his
30
music
years
get
on.
canceled though, or will they continue to play it?
We all forgave.
I mean, they're still playing Michael.
Say 3 Hail Marys.
Michael didn't get convicted though.
You're going to get fucking killed.
Different.
For what you just did. Vastly different.
I mean, both documentaries.
Yeah, Michael went to trial, though. Didn't get found guilty. R. Kelly here.
Bit major.
I do believe they've already removed a lot of his music.
Yeah,
from-
like Spotify and all those other ones, like they don't
they're
play
off.
it at all.
Yeah, remix
Really?
of Ignition. Yeah. I think people are still.
You have to go back
Oh,
to
yeah, it still plays.
Bear shares.
Bear shares.
That's a shame, man. Why the fuck? You know why you gotta?
Why? Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows yeah, I don't know. I don't understand people when people are into people that aren't into them. Like, what makes you? If someone's not into you, I don't understand that. I'll never get that.
Yeah, I can.
Why you keep pushing?
There's some weirdos out there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stay away from them.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now he's locked up. Where's he going to jail? Do we know?
Finding out now.
Alcatraz.
Where was the trial? New York?
Brooklyn.
He's going to Rikers.
Rikers.
30 years? You do Rikers 30 years? Or is that one of those, like, 30 years?
Rikers is a bit crowded.
I think you go to upstate after the trial.
I don't know the whole thing. And how come some people get sent out to, like, the middle of the country to different...
That's like
Like the high security.
GWC.
Well, the Florence, the one in Colorado, that's the main one.
Yeah.
The biggest. thing.
Supermax.
There's like
Unabomber.
Isn't Indiana? Didn't Indiana have one of those?
I believe they used to have one. I don't think it's.
It's a paintball range now.
Is it?
No.
Got to speak in a high voice.
Apparently, there's a U.S. penitentiary in Terre Haute. Is
Yeah.
a maximum security.
That's
United
the one that has
States
the Unabomber in, right?
Federal prison for male
he's in
inmates.
Unabomber's in the Colorado one.
I thought Fogel was in Colorado. I thought that was the sexual assault one.
They're not putting Fogel out there.
The Colorado one has every single like major bomber. I think the
Serial
Boston
killer and
bomber's still
everything?
there.
Joker.
Yeah.
Unabomber.
What's in Indiana? Indiana has something. There's some people here in Indiana. I know that.
It's got to be big old prison. There's big old prison in Ohio too.
Let me look.
They filmed Shawshank in an old Ohio prison.
Yeah. What town is that?
I don't know.
It's called something. Sam lived in
What is
that
it?
town for a couple years. I because we drove through there to get somewhere, and Sam, she like as a kid went and saw
The jail.
the jail. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a big deal. Hey, come check out the jail. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Red was there.
Really?
Well, that's what all right, we're out of here. That's on me. This show.
Are you wearing khaki shorts?
No, I went to Dick's the other day. There's this company called Versed or something. VER.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
They're awesome.
They stretchy.
Yeah, they're like yoga pants, but they have a bunch of them.
Yeah, those are game changers.
They have like
Every time I go to Dick's Sporting Goods, I want to buy the whole store.
Yeah, I did a lot of that this weekend, and that's where I got the Quest thing, which we just got 12 boxes here for the office. Awesome.
Hey, I saw those today. I was at Walgreens with my kids. I saw them. I almost bought a box. I didn't.
You don't do
I
the
will.
keto though, right? They have a lot of calories.
No, I would eat them. I would try them because I think that's a good. Yeah, like I'm not a huge like peanut butter cup person, but I would do it. I would try them.
So that has been my favorite forever, my entire life. So that makes me feel good that since I have liked them for like 3 decades now at this point, I will hopefully continue to carry that on forever. And if I have found like my favorite sweet tooth in a keto form, and sweet tooth being the only drawback to my keto diet, I mean, that's a big fucking moment, AJ. And think about how happy I was when I took that bite and was like, oh my God.
I think you'll find more stuff that you like probably in that same vein.
I think it's going to continue to evolve because just a couple years ago, it was all cardboard tasting shit because you can't do any sugar or anything.
Keto's a cult now. All of that intermittent fasting, it's all a cult. So yeah, all that stuff will catch up.
Rich coming from you.
Yeah, you know.
Fucking cult leader over there.
That doesn't Quest have like
Cult's not a
cookies
bad
too
thing.
and brownies?
What's that, buddy?
I thought Quest has like cookies and brownies as well.
I've tried.
Still haven't cracked
Protein
that code.
cookies are good there. I've had them.
Yep, great.
Well, I mean, they're not going to be chocolate chip cookies that your wife makes, but they're going to be okay.
My wife is a great baker, but the peanut butter cups from Quest, in comparison to the Reese's, close enough that I'm like, ooh, good. The cookies, I don't think they've gotten to the point where,
But couldn't you? Okay, those Quest little peanut butter cups, you could easily sit down. Oh, I got a sweet tooth. You could sit down and eat 15 of those, right?
Yes, that would be 8 carbs. I'm good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is. You should have seen all the calculations running in my head. Oh my God, I can have fucking 20 of these things.
Hell of a night.
That's 10 carbs. That's 10 net carbs. That's amazing. Because I'm trying to stay under 15 each day, under 10 each day. And it's like at night I can just have 2 of those when my normal sweet tooth would kick in, and I'm out, and I'm at like 7 or 8. I should become, I don't know, maybe Miles Teller and fucking Top Gun Maverick in like a week or so if I keep doing this.
How much you weigh? You look good.
I haven't been on a scale. I don't get on a scale. I don't want the numbers to deter me if I feel like I'm having success visually and physically. So I'll get on a scale at some point, but I'm doing cardio morning and night.
Really?
Yeah.
Climber?
Yeah, I do the stairs and then I box.
Oh, you're in the Arc. Yeah, that's right.
I'm back in the ARC. Fucking took out our class, took out the champ, and fucking.
You are really
Moneymaker.
restricting yourself, by the way. I just looked it up. You only have to stay under 50 a day for keto.
Yeah, so probably 4 or 5 days I'll be fucking 8-pack.
No big deal.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at me, AJ. Huh?
Look at you, man. Figured it all out.
What if I just do this forever? What if this is the new me? I
It
think
is
it
you.
is.
It's your lifestyle.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Who says no?
Who says I can't just be?
says no?
Who says it?
Are you happy?
Right now?
Yeah.
Got good energy.
Hell yeah.
Bud.
Feel like I'm losing weight. The tan is awesome because
That's
the
what's
sun has
important,
been
huh?
super hot.
So here we go.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait to get to the stage of life where I'm just getting a bunch of fake shit done to my face and the transition of my face changes. Wait till I come back and I'm just fucking, why the long face? What are you talking about? This is my new face, dude. Don't
You
worry.
and Brady look exactly alike.
Well, that transformation photo thing is.
Yeah, very
His
alarming.
team's trying to keep that off the internet as much as possible.
Like whenever I think.
Why is everybody saying he burying him? By the way,
What do you mean?
What are they saying?
everybody's saying he's like a robot and shit. That's like the go-to. His social media is very good.
Very good.
Yeah, if he ran it, that'd be
No, but he has to okay it, right? He probably looks at it.
maybe.
He definitely does because he sends the videos to them, like the Father's Day one.
And he can cut a
obviously filmed
promo
all
every
that.
once in a while. I've seen him cut a promo with a little bit of human life. Why does everybody just think he's just Roboto Carrera error? Why do people think that? Why? Honest, I'm legitimately.
I think this is how he talks.
And I think it's like the routine. Like he will forever wake up at 5 and go to bed at 8,
His
no
TB12
matter what.
died,
Like him
too.
and Jim Gray.
Yeah, TB12 died.
Avocado ice cream probably did it.
What was that? Break the Huddle. What was the show they did?
It was Say Nothing every Monday night at 6 p.m. on Sirius XM.
That was the name of the show.
Kind of a weird
Let's
name.
go. We did not expect that name. Is that back for another season next year?
Hope so.
I fucking hope so. And let's get some things out of
Well,
it.
let's get Larry Fitzgerald on because that was pitched, and I don't know if he was on one
Larry's
goddamn
on.
week.
I do believe Larry gets the tail end of the episode.
Can we tell
Acid the
Siri
bread.
or Alexa or whoever's listening, Lambda, this year we listen to this, okay, for our show on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
Sure.
Okay?
I think Nick did. They
I
actually
tried.
didn't.
It just happened to be on the car on the radio in the car on my drive home, so I would catch it.
He wouldn't say anything.
Error.
Does not compute.
The biggest thing he said was before the Patriots-Bucks game, and when Tom Brady Sr. came out and said something, he had to basically tell him to shut
up, Dad.
Yeah. That was the biggest thing all year.
Tom Patrick Brady Sr.
Yeah.
does not speak for Tom. Yeah.
That's bullshit, Dad.
That's basically what he said.
This show needs to end at some point. We should give away something for people that stuck through this one.
PMS
25,000 people. What are you doing?
PMS Sweet Blake.
PMS Lambda?
Yeah.
That'd be making a call too big, I think.
True.
Hashtag PMS Sweet Blake, I think it has to be.
Get this guy some pub.
He deserves it. This
Yeah,
guy's trying
help
to save
him
the
out.
goddamn world. Take a screenshot. Oh, fuck. Saudi.
Oh.
Saudi.
AJ doesn't have a belt. There he is.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Dog. Absolute dog, Sweet Blake. Take that screenshot. Say something nice to somebody. Put your hashtag in there. And use the hashtag PMS Sweet Blake.
Hell yeah.
And you could be one of 10 winners of $599. We can't thank you enough for watching. We have no idea why. Up to Something Season's brewing.
Whew.
It is back hot.
Here we go.
And it's not just one thing brewing, AJ. There's some sticks in the fire.
Whoa.
A lot of sticks in the fire.
That's right. We got a lot of lines in the water right now.
What?
And down at the bottom, there's some whoppers biting at the bait. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yep, and that just reminds me of yesterday when I asked Bruce about his swing. You said he's trying to come from the pocket. You guys instantly both. Yep. Here we go.
By the way, every golf tip I watch on every meme, all they're trying to get you to do is come out of the pocket. Just
What does
come-
that mean?
You come out of
Fucking
pocket.
come out of the pocket, dude.
That's actually
Fucking
what it
tight.
says. What
Boom.
Keep it tight to your body.
Yeah, tight to your body, and then you.
come out of pocket.
Euclid.
Oh, fucking TV on the
Oh,
juju.
no.
Forget it. You're trying to come out of the pocket, though, pal. Trying to come out of the pocket. You know what I mean? Inside out.
Maybe I'll make that swing change when I get out to Tahoe.
You should.
I'll give you a look. The golf fix guys out there, I guess.
Michael.
Really?
Ledbetter.
No.
AJ's going to be doing that juju swing in Tahoe. There's no air. He's been thinking about it way too much. He's going to subconsciously start doing it.
Michael Breed.
No, it's not him. That's not the golf fix guy.
Not anymore.
Who's golf fix now?
I Google golf fix guy and it says Michael Breed. Golf fix now is what you're saying?
Put golf fix 2022.
Is he British?
I don't know. I have no idea. I
don't
thought it
trust
was the
him, though.
original person I watched at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. with pool noodles in his pocket.
David Faraday.
No, that was never the golf fix, please. Have a little respect for the fucking golf fix. Golf fix was awesome.
Oh, the new look. The golf fix. I don't know. I can only find Michael Breed.
Yeah, let's look at what Bruce was trying to. Here's the juju swing, AJ.
Oh, it's called the juju.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good.
I mean,
Okay, what?
that's
Can we see it? That's a lot different than
That
Bruce.
is nothing. How is that a weird swing? That's a standard golf swing.
Wait, Bruce didn't replicate it right?
Well, he's trying. It's feel versus real. Ain't that right, Bruce? It's a little feel versus real problem.
I just wanted to stop hitting it fat. I was hitting it fat every single time, so I was like, oh, maybe this fucking swing.
Let's just blade everyone now.
Yeah, thin. Let's go thin.
Thin to win.
Simple.
That looks like a standard swing, doesn't
Yeah.
it? What am I getting wrong?
Just the hands are just a little turned.
The hands are a little weird. Yeah,
Little
Bruce's
late.
hands go
You
super
never-
like
you never
extra.
break the wrists or hinge them at all.
On any other swing? Or on this swing?
I mean, let's get real. Nobody's swing's going to look like that, though.
Matthew Wolf.
I just saw 6, 7 people.
I mean, in this, out of the people on this program, no one's swing is going to look that good.
No. Matthew Wolf swings that way.
I concur. I can't touch my toes. I'm not flexible enough for golf, I don't think. Everybody sends me tips and stuff on what I should do.
Yeah, here. It's this. That. Oh, come on, Bruce, that right wrist. What are you doing?
Look at that, though. What if you make contact on that fucking
What if he does? The club's going to miss the ball by 6
Fundamentally,
feet.
the club head should never be ahead of your hands. And so that's what that's doing. So I don't know how that makes any sense.
Maybe it's for people that just super slice, and so they're trying to get ahead of it so that you can hook.
Yeah, you got to get steep to get shallow. I've heard.
Oh, no.
And you're like, thin to win, baby.
Thanks, this is the problem.
All right, we're back tomorrow. Hashtag PMS Sweet Blake. Take a screenshot earlier. 10 winners, $599. We're back tomorrow. Then we're off Friday. Then we're back Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're live on social media. I don't know if the show will be like this Thursday, Friday from Tahoe next week. And then we're off that next week. And then we're back.
And that's football season.
Hell yeah.
And we're right there.
Let's go, dude. Then Thunderdome, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. When?
Very soon after that.
I think it's timing up.
It's looking damn good, by the way.
AUG?
It is. Hey.
AUG, what's that?
August.
Oh.
All right. If LBS stands for pounds, what's LBJ stand for?
I don't know.
Lyndon B. Johnson. That's the end of the show. See you later.